possible storm, a high of 36. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Physio Extra for Locomat robotic technology treating stroke, cerebral palsy, brain and spinal cord injuries. Visit physioextra.com.
The weather conditions we're facing over the next 48 hours have prompted a string of warnings from the CFS, SES and the Weather Bureau. Today's a triple threat when it comes to the risk of bushfires, high temperatures, strong winds and dry lightning. CFS Chief Officer Brett Lachlan says 5 districts are under a catastrophic rating.
The Eastern Eyre Peninsula, the Flinders, the York Peninsula, the Mid-North and the Riverland. An additional 5 areas across South Australia will be in total fire band with the risk of extreme. And they are the West Coast, the North East Pastorals, the Mount Lofty Ranges, the Murraylands and the Upper South East.
An aerial water tank is on standby at Edinburgh, while the deluge this weekend has the SES urging homeowners to clear gutters and downpipes and stock up on sandbags if required. The state government says it'll do everything possible to see Santos headquarters stay in SA. It comes after the local gas giant confirmed talks with WA-based Woodside about an $80 billion merger to create a global brand. The National Domestic Family and Sexual Violence Support Service is launching an SMS service. Anyone experiencing domestic, family and sexual violence can now access 1800-RESPECT via text message to ensure people who can't access telephone or internet services can still get help. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth says it'll also provide a more discreet avenue for those fleeing violent situations.
So we want those people, all those women, to reach out and use whatever avenue they are most comfortable with to actually access support and help.
Tropical cyclone Jasper has been upgraded to a Category 4 system. It's sitting 1,200 kilometres off the far north Queensland coast. The storm's expected to make landfall early next week. There's been a tragic update after a young man was buried alive on a Queensland beach over the weekend. Siobhan Fay reports.
It's a decision no parent should have to make. After 5 days, Josh Taylor's parents chose to turn off his life support. Aged in his 20s, he was buried alive in a freak accident on Saturday afternoon at Bribie Island. He'd managed to fall into a 1.5-metre hole that had been dug to roast a pig. Unable to be pulled from the pit and trapped under the sand, he remained buried alive until a team of 15 managed to free him. Friends and family performing 40 minutes of CPR before his pulse returned. He remained in hospital in a critical condition, fighting for life, before the heartbreaking decision was made. His loved ones remembering him as the most courageous person and the best son, brother, boyfriend and mate they could have wished for.
The former British Prime Minister's admitted making mistakes in handling of the COVID pandemic. Boris Johnson's been giving evidence to a COVID inquiry for the second day. He's acknowledged his government was too slow to act and drafted complex rules which were both difficult to enforce and understand.
There needs to be a great deal of reflection about the simplifying the whole approach and seeing what we can do to rely more on common sense and less on regulation and legislation.
Current Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, who was Chancellor at the time of the pandemic, will be questioned at the inquiry next week. And former Geelong champion Max Rook says he suffered at least 23 significant head knocks or concussions in his time as a senior player. He'll be the lead plaintiff in a landmark class action against the AFL. Papers backing the claim have been filed in the Victorian Supreme Court. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. The Brisbane Heat have made an impressive start to the BBL season, smashing the Melbourne Stars by 103 runs at the Gabba. Colin Munro dominating with the bat, scoring 99 not out. Meanwhile, only 3 Stars players made it to double figures. They were all out for 111 in the 16th over. Mitch Swepson picking up 3 wickets to cap off a near faultless performance from the Heat.
And he knocks over the final wicket. It has been a masterclass in the field. The Brisbane Heat have been perfect with the ball, outstanding in the field. They had a brilliant batting display. And their Big Bash campaign gets off to a flying start.
Certainly does. Audio there thanks to Fox Sports. The Adelaide Strikers will take on the Heat tomorrow night here at Adelaide Oval. Well, meantime, the Prime Minister's 11 will resume at 2 for 149 on day 3 of their 4-day tour match against Pakistan in Canberra. That will resume a little later this morning. Cam Bancroft was dismissed for 53, while Marcus Harris made 49. The Sydney Kings have defeated the Cairns Taipans 86-83 in the NBL after nearly an hour delay at half-time in Cairns because the shot clock wasn't working. After 50 minutes, both teams agreed to play out the game without a shot clock. And a couple of big games in the English Premier League this morning, with Tottenham set to host West Ham while Everton take on Newcastle. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
When you've earned your dream bathroom, speak to Bathrooms by Design, Clovelly Park and Lonsdale.
Showers and a possible storm today, heading for 36. Rain tomorrow, possibly heavy at times, down to 19. Rain at times on Sunday, also 19. Then a shower or two Monday, up to 30. At the moment, 25. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Everyone here at Austrac Campers would like to wish all of you heading away these holidays safe travels. May the roads be open, the weather perfect, and your drinks cold.
Austrac Campers!
For nearly 40 years, no one has done certified used cars quite like Steinborner Automotive, with dedicated yards including SA's best range of commercials loaded and ready to go, including SA's only dedicated small car and SUV centre, and SA's only large SUV and 4x4 centre suited for any lifestyle. Steinborner still also has the best range of Commodores, from ZBs to the collectibles. View all late model used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Now, decisions change lives, and for a young person, it could be the decision to hang out with the wrong crowd or the decision to get involved in things that they shouldn't do.
For someone like you, it could be the decision to change the life of a young person for the better by partnering with Youth Opportunities. Their personal leadership programs help transform young lives and their communities for the better by developing the direction, confidence and the skills to make the right decisions.
Youth Opportunities have helped thousands of young people get their life on track. You can read more about their amazing stories at youthopportunities.com.au.
If you want to improve outcomes for young people, get in touch with Youth Opportunities, because opportunity is life-changing.
I was just doing my job. I didn't think I'd get injured.
The doctor said it was a routine procedure? Right.
The car came out of nowhere and it smashed right into us.
At DBH Lawyers, we're here to listen to your story. Our team of local South Australian lawyers will help you navigate the law and find the best way forward. We're with you. We're for you. We're DBH Lawyers. dbh.com.au.
Good morning to you. Welcome to Friday on 5AA Breakfast. Weather will be a theme this morning. Just a warning, the state's full of warnings at the moment. We'll get you across precisely what's happening. We've got SES preparing sandbags for potential flooding. We've got the CFS with warnings, catastrophic fire danger warnings for parts of the state, schools being closed, wind warnings, heat warnings, you name it. We'll get you across it all over the course of the morning, and we'll speak with the key people, the SES, the CFS. SA Power Networks have flagged blackouts potentially over the next 3 days as well. We'll be talking to them about that eventuality as well. Also, a couple of times this morning, we're going to flash back in history. Michael Smith will join us. We'll flash back with Michael, but also Grundy shoes. We've become captivated by this story. We've heard of it in ads on 5AA Breakfast. This company has been making shoes in Adelaide for longer than there's been in Adelaide, just about. Almost. It's a great history. We're going to talk about it after 7:30 today. And, of course, it being a Friday morning, Feedback Friday after 8:30. But first, David Pemberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, Will. Good morning, listeners. Feedback Friday, Meat Tray Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Will's last Friday of the year
Friday
as well.
My final Friday.
Will is heading off, folks, after today. And Lucy and I are going to be doing the show next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. I'll try not to pronounce too many words in French while I'm working with Lucy. I won't sit here saying, geez, I could go a croque monsieur. So she's just wincing.
I'm not going to tell you off for that. I don't know. I know no better.
Well, exactly. I don't know better either. I know
Ignorance
no better.
is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. But we're going to the Central Market as well next week.
Oh, that'll be a lot of fun.
It always feels like an
pre-Christmas
appropriate
shop.
end of the year, being at the market. I still have the occasional flashback. Have you ever had a job that gave you weird recurring nightmares? Apart from this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I used to have fruit unpacking dreams.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Was
yeah.
it? Would something go wrong?
Oh, no.
Dream?
It would be like an endless... I'd be standing on the back of Steph's truck and I'd just have like, I don't know, this endless box of pumpkins. I'd just have to stand there all day just going, pumpkin, 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 pumpkin. Because that's what that job often felt like at the market.
And so the dream gets no more exciting or more terrifying. It's just repetitive.
Oh, sometimes there'd be a smoke machine and a woman would come in set to the sound of a Motley Crue song.
Okay.
No, it was mainly just the pumpkins.
Okay, it wasn't all pumpkins.
Mainly just the pumpkins.
Right.
Mainly just the pumpkins.
Hey, we've got a meat tray today to give away. Thanks to Liam Joanna and the team at My Local Butcher Chanella's, 62 Prospect Road at Prospect. Want to know something odd you found in your garden? Something strange you found in your garden. It's a story inspired by a British story, is it not?
Yeah, so this couple in England, they had this, I love this story, for years, they're now quite old. They've had this thing that they just called the missile in their yard.
Yeah, right.
Because it was a missile, but they just assumed it was something that had...
Like a relic.
A relic, something that maybe had exploded World War I, World War II, who knew? They didn't know. But they just had it sitting there in their yard, and they planted some... They sort of turned it into a bit of a mini rockery, and they planted some pansies around it and so forth. But the lady of the house, who was the real green thumb, she liked it because it was so sturdy that she'd use it to get the mud and dirt off her trowel.
Right.
So after a session in the garden, she'd go over to the missile and she'd pick up a hard metal trowel or mattock, and she'd just turn around to the missile and just whack it really hard to get all the mud off it. Well, someone suggested they should have a bit of a look at it. And they got one of those like Danger UXB type people to come in, and they found out that it was a live missile.
Oh, it was unexploded ordnance.
It was unexploded ordnance, and she'd been hitting it with a mattock every 3 days as hard as she could for the last 50 years. It was absolutely jam-packed with explosives, but apparently it was made in 1880.
Oh, wow. So it predates the First World War, like Boer War sort of era.
Yeah, Boer War era. Yeah.
Well, I suppose they had sort of...
So they took it away and blew it up. So they lost...
Primitive artillery at that period of time, so...
Yeah, so they lost their...
They blew it up. That's pretty good. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be able to top that. You don't need to top it for the meat tray, but we do want to hear about things you found in your garden. 8223
Could be a living thing.
Could be a living thing. You found you found a blue-tongued lizard or something or other.
That scared the hell out of me. I was digging with my bare hands, planting some stuff, and I put my hands right down into the ground, and I felt this thing. I thought, what's that? It was in wintertime, and I picked up this. It was curled up in a ball, but it was a big, chubby, fat adult blue tongue, but it was hibernating.
Wow!
And it was just
sort of buried itself and was just
and it was just like looking at me going.
Yeah, imagine its shock.
Oh, it was more shocked than me. How about you, Will? Have you ever found anything on your travels?
Found thing. No, you know what? It's the opposite. This was a story that wouldn't win the meat tray, but it's just such a gooding story that it sort of fits here. When Dad got when I was very young, a metal detector. So we're talking 80s. I reckon metal detectors kind of went through a thing, sort of mid to late 80s.
Yeah, a bit of a trend.
And he was going around everywhere. Doot, 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 doot. In the backyard, there was one area. Doot, 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 doot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I thought, oh, God. And I was, 5 or 6. And in my head, I'm like, buried treasure. This is the coolest thing ever. So Dad spent the afternoon digging this big hole in the backyard. Now, I don't know how big it was. My memory as a little kid was this thing was, 6 feet deep. He dug away. And eventually, and Mum said, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Well, there's something down here. Something metallic." It's just the mains water pipe. That's all it was.
Oh, you're kidding!
he dug down to the main sewage pipe
before you dig
off the street. It was the lamest conclusion.
Oh wow! That is genuinely funny.
He spent all day digging away. I don't know what he thought. I was a little kid.
Lost gold of the Incas.
Maybe I was encouraging him. He thought, oh, poor kid, I'm going to give him some excitement in his life.
Damn,
it's going to be.
There I was thinking, I found some sort of, like secret mafia suitcase or...
That's right.
It's just actually a large metal pipe filled with human excrement. Damn.
Yeah, not the pot of gold. 15 after 6. We're going to get some news headlines for you in just a moment.
We understand not all small businesses are the same. That's why Nissan Fleet offers tailored vehicle solutions for your unique business needs. With dedicated fleet managers available across Australia, we're your local fleet experts, providing quality advice, support and customer service for the entire life of your vehicle fleet. Visit your local Nissan dealer or search Nissan Fleet today, and we'll find the right business solution for you.
In tough times, it's the simple things that make a big difference. Like $19 schnitzel days at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. We know the humble schnitty can't fix all our problems, but we do know it'll put a smile on your dial. $19 schnitty, Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and the Lighthouse Wharf. Making the world a better place, one schnitty at a time. Gotta start somewhere. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Whether it's a surprise on your favourite co-worker's desk or a treat under the tree, nothing beats sharing a South Australian icon for Christmas, men's fruit chocks.
That's right, whether you're partial to the classic fruit chocks, a fan of melt-in-the-mouth violet crumble, or you prefer to indulge in a variety, there's a gift pack for everyone at the Fruit Chock shop.
Make all your interstate relatives too bring back a box of SA Pride. They should be loading up. Should be like the black market, the flights between Adelaide and Melbourne.
Oh, yeah, totally.
What's that? What have you got in that giant trench coat?
Yeah, exactly.
They like, fruit chocks?
Like Clint Eastwood in The Mule.
Exactly right. And also, how about this, David? You'll be excited to hear this. For Santa, doesn't want cookies this year. He's happy with fruit chocks.
Will has been communicating a lot with Father Christmas. Now, a pack of this South Aussie favourite never lasts long, so naturally these gift packs are fruit chockers.
Shop online or at the Fruit Chock shops in Glen, McLaren Vale, Hahndorf, Tanunda, and online. Plenty of spots for Santa to shop.
Just so we're clear, when your partner says they want a cat for Christmas, they're not talking about getting a little... They want 2.5 tons of cat forklift. The Cat Forklift Christmas sale is on now. Get the toughest in market 2.5 ton cat forklift for just $29,990 plus GST. Hurry, stock is limited. Visit unitedequipment.com.au.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
18 after 6, Simple Meat Tray Friday today. Anything odd you've found in your garden over your life? 8223 Text us on the Duttons text line 048008 1395. News headlines on this Friday, the 8th of December. In the lead up to Christmas, the Australian Road Safety Foundation has issued a heartfelt plea to drivers. The advice is to take responsibility behind the wheel and obey the road rules. The foundation's Russell White says the road toll hits home even harder at this time of year.
More than 1,000 people's lives have been already taken this year alone, which means that more than 1,000 families are facing a Christmas without their loved one for the very first time.
The road toll in South Australia stands at 105.
When you hear the numbers in their nationwide totality, it's vast, isn't it? 1,000 people, more than 1,000 people.
It's a lot of people.
It's heaps of people.
If there was a natural disaster that claimed 1,000 lives, it would be. We would forever and a day have commemorations of the sad event that took place.
Well, you usually think about it. I mean, we've still got. I know it's absolutely terrifying, and it destroyed so much property as well. But there's bushfires.
Absolutely.
That claim less lives than that. Like the really big ones, like Ash Wednesday didn't claim that many lives.
No, not at all. How about this? In a bid to win back customers, Qantas is opening the bar earlier on its flights.
Free beer.
Economy? No, they're not saying free beer. Economy travellers will now be able to enjoy. Oh, actually, it is complimentary. You're right, because you get the free one. Complimentary beer and wine for flights leaving after noon. Previously, bar service began at 4. Well, that's good. I guess you can have a celebratory drink if your flight gets away on time.
That's true.
Or if you can have a commiserations drink.
Yeah.
If it doesn't.
I don't really like drinking on planes.
Well, it's not good. Something messes up your sort of metabolism juju, doesn't it, when you're flying around at altitude?
Unless it's a long-haul flight where there's a lot to be said for just trying to get absolutely poleaxed at the start and hope that you fall asleep.
Yep.
Except if it doesn't work, it's terrible.
Then you got to deal with the airport.
Yeah, and
mildly hungover.
Yes, exactly.
Government's been called upon to invest in fire ant control. The ACT government is spending $5 million to help eradicate the pest. The Invasive Species Council wants South Australia, Victoria, WA and Tasmania to stop dithering and step up with their share of funding. The Foreign Minister will use a trip to the Middle East to call for an end to the war in Gaza. Penny Wong will look to link up with key counterparts in Israel, the West Bank and countries with influence in the wider region. The Australian reporting this morning the government has been waiting for the early stages of war to pass before ramping up its on-ground engagement.
Good honour for doing that.
Absolutely.
Burma is over there this week, meeting with members of the Israeli government. But, yes, Penny Wong, I think, if they could clone Penny Wong, they'd be in better shape, this government, given some... Yeah, I can't imagine Penny Wong having a shocker the way other ministers have this week.
No.
She's got ice in her veins.
Yeah.
She's unflappable. In fact, I was talking to a Liberal figure this week who was talking about how badly the government's going, and obviously you'd expect him to say that. But he said to me, with the exception of Penny, none of them have got any presence, which I thought was really interesting that he said that.
She has gravitas, doesn't she?
Yeah.
She's intelligent.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with
the
the politics or not, I think she's
one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Yeah, she's an impressive figure.
She's the head prefect at Scotch College.
Is that right?
Yep.
You were a prefect, weren't you?
No, it's not about me, Will. Not about me.
No, it's rarefied air.
Prefect asterisk Marion High.
Do you guys have like a group chat? Former
we do
achievers?
Actually, yeah, it's fascinating.
Get stuff. The former British Prime Minister has admitted to making mistakes in the handling of the pandemic. Boris Johnson has been given evidence to a COVID inquiry that's now in its second day. He's acknowledged his government was too slow to act and drafted complex rules that were both difficult to enforce and indeed understand.
There needs to be a great deal of reflection about the simplifying the whole approach and seeing what we can do to rely more on common sense and less on regulation and legislation.
Some of it was terribly complicated, like can I party or not party was one of them. I mean, it was really hard to follow.
Yeah, that's right. Now, isn't there some... Didn't his ex-girlfriend give evidence too? Or give an interview saying this guy's a liar? Apparently his mistress, Boris Johnson's mistress, came out yesterday and said that he's a liar and that nothing that he ever says can be taken on face value, which I guess a lot of people would agree with.
Do we have a history in this country of inviting mistresses to speak at Senate inquiries or any such?
Trying to think famous political mistresses.
Perhaps a better question is, should we?
Got to be careful what you say.
Evidence. Well, yes.
The one that I can think of was the result of a very famous defamation suit that was paid to the person. I think I can say it now. I think they're all no longer with us. It was Junie Morosi.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It was Junie Morosi, who was Jim Cairns' private secretary, the Whitlam government's treasurer, and she sued and got a huge payout from News Corp. And then years after, they both confirmed that they had this passionate affair, which was the very basis of the defamation case.
The National Domestic Family and Sexual Violence Support Service is launching an SMS service, so anyone experiencing domestic, family and sexual violence can now access 1-800-RESPECT via text message to ensure people who can't access telephone or internet services can still get help. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth says it will also provide a more discreet avenue for people fleeing violent situations.
So we want those people, all those women, to reach out and use whatever avenue they are most comfortable with to actually access support and help.
29 degrees right now outside of the city. 29 degrees, the hottest capital city in the country right now. Top of 36 on the way, with a possible storm on the way as well. Shower or two. Won't be a whole lot of rain, which is part of the issue today. It's dry lightning in the mid-north that has the CFS on high alert. We'll take you through all the warnings that are in effect today, because there's a stack of them, from the CFS closing schools, catastrophic fire danger warnings, heat wave warnings. Then, of course, over the weekend we've got flood warnings and indeed other concerns that are coming. SA Power Networks have issued some advice saying expect the power to go out for various times.
I don't want to steal my own thunder, but for breaking at 8, but we're hearing too that there's a whole bunch of very significant Christmas-related community events that are probably going to have a line put through them over the weekend, mainly because of the fears over the wind gusts and so on. We've already seen some of the suburban
Burnside
councils. Yeah, Burnside Council has said no Christmas carols.
It's going to be a pretty unpleasant sort of a weekend.
Yeah. So carols everywhere under threat.
The forecast for Saturday, top of just 19. So think of that. 30. It's 29 right now. It'll get to a top of 19 tomorrow, and up to 25 mils of rain. That's a lot of rain in Adelaide. 25 mils. Winds 20 to 40 k's. It's going to be a nasty sort of a day. Sunday now, not as wet as the Saturday. 2 to 15 mils of rain on the Sunday before things return to a summer service for Monday. 30 degrees. Still a bit of residual rain about the place, potentially up to 8 mils. The Bureau is saying 27 on Tuesday, 27 on Wednesday, and then back to 22 on Thursday. Tom Wren is in the 5AA Breakfast studio with us, thanks to Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning, Will. Morning, David. Boys, bizarre event last night. Maybe get your thinking caps on bizarre things that have happened in sport. NBL game between Cairns and Sydney had to be delayed at half-time by close to an hour. The shot clock stopped working.
They played without it, didn't they?
And they ended up playing without it.
Absolutely ludicrous.
Madness.
So Sydney were leading late in the game. They were running 40-second offences to just sort of bleed out the clock. That's what basketball was in the 1960s.
Mm-hmm. Mad.
That's like I was trying to think of an AFL equivalent. It'd be like umpires' whistles not working, and you get it's something so fundamental to the game. They shouldn't have played it. I think it makes the league look like amateur hour.
Well, Cairns actually hit the buzzer beater to tie the game and force it to overtime, but they missed it by about a quarter of a second. So you wonder whether or not that would have been.
Of course it would have been.
Yeah, so crazy. So get your thinking caps on, perhaps, folks as well. Send us a text and strange things that have caused delays in games. The other thing that's happening, fellas, that I do love my golf and love watching probably far too much of it. This story fascinates me, and it's divided the golf.
Is this about drivers?
This is about
the size of drivers?
Golf balls.
Okay,
similar.
We had a question about the reduction in the driver size for professionals.
Well, there might be that, but this one has sort of caught the golfing world by storm. It's only just been sort of ratified that it's going to come in. So basically, the organisations, the golfing associations, the Royal and Ancient Golf Club of St Andrews, the RNA, and the United States Golf Association, the USGA, who are the golf's two policymakers for the sport, they're rolling back the golf ball. They're saying it is going too far, and our golf courses are getting bullied. So, hazards that they're setting, bunkers, all that stuff.
Oh, you can just drive over the top of them.
Over the top. So
because they go so far now?
Because they go so far. So they are literally winding back the ball so that the average drive will go 12 to 14 metres less.
Rennie, that's the text actually was on this issue, and it was asking the question, is it better to wind the ball back or reduce driver length or power?
Probably both.
Okay.
But they're doing the ball, and will it affect you and me, David, when we go and play a game? Yes, it will.
How?
So we'll probably not hit the ball.
Anyway.
We'll probably not hit the ball. Probably 2 to 4 metres. Although without trying to get too technical, it depends on what ball you use. I use the softer one because I'm not that great a golfer. So those balls I don't think are as heavily impacted. But because the better ones, you need to nip them clean. Otherwise, you can take the edge off anyway.
So how will they do it? Is it going to be a question of changing the way they're made?
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
So, and it's going to be by 2028. Now, this, of course, has totally divided the golfing world. Rory McIlroy and a few others saying, great, you're just going to have to work out the spin methods differently. You're going to have to use different clubs because they're worried now that players are driving it so far, it's then just a little sandwich into the club and then it's just a putt off.
Yep.
They want to make it so that, you've got to think your way around the course a little bit more.
They should change the thickness of Dave Warner's bat as well while they're at it, because it's a similar sort of thing.
But look, like I said, golf courses just, they can't keep expanding the land because it's not there. So this is the way they're trying to bring the game back and make it more a challenge. But it's being met with a fair bit of negativity and criticism, as you can imagine.
Wow.
So for the amateurs out there wondering, when does this affect me? Like, 2030.
Okay.
So they get a couple of extra years. And like I said, for a lot, it won't actually really impact you too much at all. But there are some that it will impact still. So just be aware. It is changing and, it is definitely affecting and most are against it in the professional world, the pros.
Okay. Fascinating story. Thank you, Rennie.
Good on you, boys.
Glider Roll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and a possible storm, a high of 36. With the 6:30 news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Try Locomat robotic gait training technology for neurological issues at FIVEAA Extra. Visit physioextra.com.
The weather conditions over the next 48 hours have the CFS and SES on red alert. Mel Usher has details.
Today's forecast, a mix of high temperatures, strong wind gusts and dry lightning, is a worst-case scenario when it comes to the risk of bushfires. Temperatures in regional parts of the state could hit the mid-40s alongside winds of up to 100 k's an hour. We're looking at catastrophic fire danger ratings for the mid-north, Flinders, Riverland, Yorke Peninsula and Eastern Eyre Peninsula, and extreme ratings in the Mount Lofty Ranges, Northeast Pastoral, West Coast, Upper Southeast and Murraylands. Dozens of regional public schools and preschools will be closed. Liz Connell from the SES has this advice.
Be well prepared. It's certainly a unique set of conditions that we are experiencing.
A 737 aerial water tanker is on standby at Edinburgh. The heat will break in the afternoon and then the weather roller coaster will kick in again, with heavy falls arriving tomorrow morning. Some parts of the state could cop up to 120 mils of rain across the weekend.
More than 1,000 fatalities have been recorded on Australian roads this year, including 105 in SA. Russell White from Australian Road Safety Foundation's urging motorists to take extra care.
Yeah, well, road safety is obviously a critical message all year round, but it's particularly heightened at times like this time of year because it's the holiday season. The risks are higher and the impact is far more profound. So really we don't want any family to have to experience the loss of a loved one at any time of the year, especially at Christmas, which should be a time of joy and celebration.
Business groups are warning consumers and workers will pay the price in the wake of industrial relations reforms. Labor's reached a deal with the Greens to pass the same job, same pay rules. It means workers performing the exact tasks must be paid the same regardless of their experience. Minerals Council Chief Executive Tanya Constable says the changes will cost jobs.
What we should be seeing is business and workers being able to benefit from industrial relations changes. But what we are now going to see is job losses, and the government needs to take full responsibility for every job loss from this point on.
Meantime, Santos has confirmed it's in talks with WA-based Woodside about an $80 billion merger. A tropical cyclone off the coast of Queensland's intensifying. Jasper has been upgraded to a Category 4 and could reach a Category 5. If it does make landfall in the state, dozens of towns between Mackay and Cooktown will be in the firing line. Police Commissioner Katarina Carroll's warning residents to prepare.
Please just listen to the radio, newspaper, traditional media, whatever it is, but just be well informed.
The Foreign Minister's expected to visit the Middle East within weeks, urging leaders to create a path to end the war in Gaza. Penny Wong will look to link up with key counterparts in Israel and West Bank and countries with influence in the wider region. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are continuing to stream into Rafah city near the Egyptian border to escape fighting in southern Gaza. The Norwegian Refugee Council's Shanna Lua says there are thousands packed onto the streets where water and food is limited.
The situation has just continued to deteriorate since the end of the pause. In some ways, they feel like they were lulled into a false sense of security, and what has happened since the collapse of the pause has just been more ruthless, more devastating than what they saw during the 7 weeks that preceded it.
And a huge blast at an explosives depot has flattened buildings and brought down trees on the main island in Seychelles. More than 100 people have been injured. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Ken. We're going to start with a bit of cricket. The Brisbane Heat has defeated the Melbourne Stars by 103 runs in the opening BBL match of the series at the Gabba. The Heat made 3 for 214 from their 20 overs. But the Stars struggled with the bat, only 3 players reaching double figures, and they were all out for 111 in the 16th over. Meantime, the Prime Minister's 11 will resume at 2 for 149 on day 3 of their tour match against Pakistan. That's in Canberra and will start again later this morning. That's in reply to the tourist first innings total of 9 for 391 declared. Well, the NBL game between the Sydney Kings and Cairns Taipans ground to a halt last night after the shot clock failed to work after the half-time break. Officials scrambled for a solution before a gentleman's agreement between the teams allowed play to resume without a shot clock, the delay lasting almost an hour. Kings coach Mahmood Abdelafatah wasn't sure that was what was going on.
I've never been a part of anything like this, so you just have to go with the flow, see what happens. So I truly have no explanation for it.
Yeah, unbelievable. Sydney winning by 3 points, 86 to 83. Well, Eddie Jones has reportedly had a second job interview to become coach of the Japanese rugby side. And in the English Premier League, there's about 10 minutes to play in the opening half between Everton and Newcastle. Scores currently locked at 0-0. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now the 5AA forecast.
When you've earned your dream bathroom, speak to Bathrooms by Design, Clovelly Park and Lonsdale.
A shower or two and possible storm today, heading for 36. Rain possibly heavy at times on Saturday, down to 19. Rain at times on Sunday, also 19. And a shower or two Monday, 30. At the moment, 29. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
23 to 7, getting great info from listeners on events that have been cancelled over the weekend. We're compiling a list and we'll announce it all during breaking at 8 this morning. So you've got more information for us. Sam and Lucy are compiling it as we speak on 8223 You can text us on the Duttons text line as well. Weather's coming up, and weather is the biggest story in Adelaide today and this weekend, indeed the entire state. If you look at the bushfire warnings, they are extraordinary. Catastrophic bushfire conditions for the Eastern Eyre Peninsula, Flinders, Mid-North, York Peninsula and Riverland. Extreme warnings for Mount Lofty Ranges, the Murraylands, Upper South East, the North East Pastoral, Maree, Lee Creek, Oodnadatta. We were speaking with someone in Maree yesterday. Lyle, what a legend. West Coast as well has an extreme warning level. Those schools in the catastrophic areas are closed. So schools and preschools, there's about 30 of them across the state that are closed as a result of the bushfire warnings. That's largely about today. And before we even get to the weekend, we're talking about up to 150 mils of rain forecast for some parts of regional South Australia. We're going to chat with the Bureau shortly, so we'll have the latest on that for you in about 5 minutes' time.
We got a text here saying that many families are heading to Berry today for the 2-day Riverland Rowing Regatta. Huge amounts of schools and clubs will be inundating Berry, Barmera and Loxton. Fingers crossed the weather is better there. Well, I'd check, because we're hearing that all sorts of things are well and truly under a cloud, both metaphorically and literally. So anything outdoors is looking iffy at the moment.
We've got a meat tray to give away thanks to Liam Joner and the team at my local butcher Chanellas, 62 Prospect Road at Prospect.
Love Chanellas.
Barry in Aldinga has called in. Barry, what did you find in your garden?
And my little woman decided she wanted a lemon tree in the backyard. I said, yeah, no problem. Dug about half a metre down. There's a jar there. Picked it up, opened it. There's about $300 in there. I thought, hello, this is good.
You're kidding?
I'm not kidding. It was all in 10s and $20 notes.
Now, Barry, you say you're in Aldinga, mate. Could you be a little bit more specific?
No, David, I know where you live.
Was it all?
I see at the surf club, mate. We can go halves.
Did the currency look aged, Barry? Do you get the sense it had been there for a while?
It was. Actually, there was even a couple in there. The Commonwealth of Australia, $20 notes.
Wow. Did you redeem them? Like with... Barry, did you just break into baritone? What happened there?
I think we got put on hold by mistake.
No, I think that was Barry just broke into song randomly.
He sounded like the Australian baritone Peter Dawson a bit. Remember him? From the 1910s?
He found $300. He's in the running to win a meat tray. Burst into songs.
So was it some thrifty Aldinga resident? Or was it some sort of mob-related thing? You know, some guy called Jimmy the Fish who lived down there in the 50s.
Come back for his $300.
Yeah, mention that. Just wonder if you see my jaw.
Brad in One Tree Hill, good morning.
Yeah, morning, Dave and Will. I don't know if this qualifies as a backyard, but I'll take it anyway. I live on 28 acres up here and down the back creek. Used to go camping down there with the kids and the young and that. In the creek there, I found flecks of gold.
Really?
Throughout the creek, yeah. Because don't forget where I am too. I'm only a Bob Sherman dropkick away from the Lady Alice gold mine that was up in the Barossa Goldfield.
Of course, yeah. Wow.
There's over 1,300 people living up there at one stage.
Did you get like a little pan and start panning for gold, like one of those, Eureka Stockade people?
I bought an El Cheapo one and gave it a go.
Yeah, right.
And I've always thought, maybe one day, I've only been here 32 years, but one day I'll have a fair dink and go at it, see how I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Good on you, Brad. Hey, Barry just called back in. Barry, what happened to you?
Bluetooth kicked into a truck that went past me.
Oh, really?
Hang on. Someone else's. Hang on. You think some bloke was in his truck in the cab singing like a tenor? Is that what happened?
Listen to Placido Domingo.
Yeah. So I've still got a couple of those 20s that got the Commonwealth of Australia on there. Hanging on just in case they're worth money.
Yeah.
That's awesome, mate.
Well, they're at least worth $20, aren't they? Good on you, Barry. Thank
Yeah,
you. Got a great text coming in. And
one that gives me the absolute creeps. It's from Michael in Normanville. The Southern Fleurieu people are up and about this morning. This comes replete with a hideous photograph of the said arachnid. Michael says, I was helping the missus hang out washing one morning, no shoes on, and I nearly stepped on this, a funnel web spider. I'm making that photo bigger. Oh, I can't even look at it. Oh.
They're nasty-looking creatures, aren't they?
Horrible. I didn't, and Lucy and I were just chatting off air, I didn't think we had funnel webs in South Australia.
If you look at the map of Australia and they've put the hot spots of where they like to live, it's all East Coast, Sydney, and a little spot in Adelaide, bizarrely, with no link between the two.
I thought they needed humidity.
Yeah. They must live in the suitcases of New South Welshmen when they come over.
Katie on the Foodland Facebook live stream says that she found a stolen cash register in a hedge.
Katie, you would have won a meat trophy called in with that on the 8223 0000. Stolen cash register. What I mean, the one from the other day where they...
Oh, those
morons
down south
stole a cash register that had nothing in it.
Russell says about 25 years ago he found 2 tiny eggs on the cement floor of the undercroft. Both eggs were behind some spare slate tiles, and he made a note of it, and he kept watching them every day. One day they hatched, and they were 2 little baby geckos. How cute. And Fred says people should be looking in their gardens. They might find Anthony Albanese hiding there.
Well, he's got to be somewhere. Oh, no, he delivered a Christmas message in Parliament yesterday.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
He wished the nation Merry Christmas.
Yeah. I don't know if this is in the 7 o'clock news wrap, but should give Mark Dreyfus credit for manning up and apologising for his
absolutely
abusive conduct in relation to the young female journo, Olivia Causley. A lot of people just in politics shrug their shoulders and go, no, I'm not giving anyone the satisfaction of an apology. So we gave him a real pizzling yesterday on the show. We should give him credit for being man enough to say sorry for what he did. So good on him.
If you love your food, make sure you're listening later today to Angie McBride. Just after 3, she'll have Super Chef Chris Jarmer in with her for the FIVEAA Food and Wine Show, thanks to Smeg and Powers. If you're building or renovating, your first choice should be visiting the Smeg showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with Smeg and Powers. We were in with Jarmers the other day. Chris made us breakfast for our 2024 planning meeting. Just superb.
Croque monsieur. 2 words.
Lucy's not there. You're not antagonising her.
The classic toasted French ham sandwich.
Lots of great Duttons texts coming through. Duttons, Mount Barker or Murray Bridge, purchase new or used vehicle and go in the draw to win $3,000.
Mentioning Powers too, big shout out to Sam and Jamie and the guys out there. I mentioned Cotties and the dearth of pine lime cordial or the possible formal cessation of pine lime cordial. He sent in a bottle of an English branded pine lime cordial called Bilson's. Beautiful looking bottle, isn't it?
It looks like a mixer for a cocktail.
Yeah. I'll just have it. A bit of ice and water later. It'd be terrific.
All right, you can provide the review next week on the program. Dean at Parafield Gardens has called in. Morning, Dean.
Yeah, guys. About 20 years ago, the Australian $20 note, the Commonwealth of Australia, worth up to $2,000.
Is it?
Probably worth a lot more than that now, depending on the condition, of course.
Seriously?
Barry, paging Barry in Aldinga.
Yeah, I hope you're still on the line, Barry. I hope you're still listening, mate. So really, Dean, $2,000. Are you
Wow.
a bit of a currency?
Yeah, they're worth a couple of grand. Yeah, just check it out with the experts, but you'll find they're quite valuable.
Wow.
Oh, Dean, thank you. In fact, Dean, we're going to give you a $5AA breakfast mug for sharing that information. Thank you.
Good tip.
Great tip.
I'll tell you what.
Well, Dean found $300. It's become about $4,000.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Might win a meat trade too in the process. Could be the jar that keeps on giving. We're going to check traffic, police and the all-important weather forecast coming up in just a moment.
Thanks, Will, and good morning. Roads working well. If you're up nice and early today, the freeway flowing really nicely from Hahndorf through to Glen Osmond. Accident and breakdown free on the Northern Connector. Lights on the blink at Flinders Park at the moment. Holbrooks Road near Hartley Road, and lane closed at Lockleys. Henley Beach Road near Rolls Road, speeds at 40. You find early morning cameras, West Street, Ascot Park and Warner Road at Semaphore. Get a taste of summer with the new Atropo range at Oporto. Try the new Atropo Bowl or Wrapper or one of the new pineapple dessert packs. Limited time only at Oporto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
If you've ever wondered what the extra stands for in Physio Extra, that's easy.
Extra everything. Extra time with every appointment. Extra care with a genuine hands-on approach to healing.
Extra expertise. Extra treatment options.
Extra appointments with same-day treatments available. Extra convenient because we have 6 Physio Extra locations around Adelaide. That's right, 6.
It's the extra in Physio Extra that makes all the difference. Visit physioextra.com for your nearest location or call for a same-day appointment.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. The Kluger 7-seat SUV with a brand new sophisticated design and powerful on-road stance. Your choice of an economical and powerful all-wheel drive hybrid engine or improved 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo engine. Plus Toyota's latest safety technology designed to support safe driving. This 7-seater has flexible cargo space thanks to the folding second and third rows. Take a test drive of the new Kluger today at Jarvis Toyota, South Road, Clovelly Park. Proudly celebrating 21 years of great deals.
How do you make a home unique? Well, don't start by following a trend that will probably look outdated in a year. A new look could be something that's in fact 1,000 years old.
Now, we're talking about stained glass. There's a company in Adelaide dedicated to this amazing ageless art. They're called Stained Glass Overlay, and they craft these amazing creations to order right here in Adelaide and share them with customers all over the globe.
Brief the Stained Glass Overlay team on a design or choose from a gallery of stunning works. They're perfect for the front door or indeed a feature window.
Give your home a story and add a touch of class with Stained Glass Overlay. Get them out for a free measure and quote. Visit their website and watch the videos at glassoverlay.com.au.
City Discount Tires. Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. When you buy 3 Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires, you'll get the 4th tire free. The perfect tire for your next adventure. City Discount Tires are a proud multi-tire and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttires.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
Twelve minutes to 7. Now, there's going to be a stack of important information right now. We're checking in with the Weather Bureau. Mark Anilak is on the line. Mark, good morning to you. We might just sort of do this a day at a time this morning. It's a little bit different given all that's transpiring because there's concerns for parts of the state that differ based on the day and time and so forth. Starting with today, clearly it's hot and there's the risk of dry lightning, which is the CFS on high alert. What are the periods of the day when we're expecting storm activity? What are you looking at for today? Let's just start with Friday.
Yeah, so the worst of it is the very hot conditions through sort of inland parts. Temperatures this afternoon getting up into the mid-40s. Coincident with the strongest winds around that time as well. Northwesterly winds, we have a severe weather warning current for 60 to 70 kilometre an hour winds, gusting to 100 kilometres an hour during the afternoon. And that's probably our best chance of picking up a thunderstorm as well during the afternoon. So all three elements coming together to cause really a high fire danger issue.
Then there's a change coming through. When will that likely take place? And when, I guess, do we start to see this extraordinary rain event move over the state?
So today we're starting off quite warm, 29 degrees at the moment. We'll shoot up to 36 very quickly, probably by lunchtime, at which stage we're expecting a cool change to come through, probably around about 2:30 this afternoon, so between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon. We will notice a significant change in temperature, and the winds will be quite gusty, particularly for those in the north, sort of the Gawler area, Barossa Valley. Very gusty winds with that change as it moves through, and just a risk of a thunderstorm as it moves through this afternoon as well. Following that change, we'll see high cloud increasing this evening, maybe a spot or two tonight, maybe leading to a shower before midnight, but that cloud will continue to thicken overnight, leading into a pretty rainy day tomorrow with falls of 5 to 25 millimetres expected. Rain pretty much all day. Hopefully probably the heaviest falls might be during the afternoon, but hopefully by evening we'll start to see that rain ease back to just a shower or two, leading to a cool but a day on Sunday. There will be some rain at times, but certainly not expecting the amount we thought a couple of days ago, just 2 to 15 millimetres for Sunday.
All right, that's great information, Mark. Thank you. And it answers a question we got in the Duttons text line while that was all going on. Can you please ask the Weather Bureau about the timing of rain tomorrow? I've bought a corporate box at the Strikers match for our staff Christmas show, and I'm wondering if it will likely get called off. I think I need a backup plan.
It sounds like the rain's potentially going to be patchy tomorrow. But I mean, you look at the forecast though. There's so much wiggle room in there still because it's 5 to 25.
5 to 25, yeah.
So 5 mil.
Well, my interpretation of that from Mark was it'll be bucketing down in the afternoon, and then just showers at night. Now the problem with cricket is just showers is no cricket.
Well, that's right.
It doesn't need to be much rain for them to call it off. So, I'd have a backup plan.
But with T20 though, they can play 5 overs of side, which is hardly much of a spectacle, is it? Sitting in the rain at the Oval, waiting for 30 balls to be bowled. Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's head to SAPOL. Senior Constable Peter Squire joins us. Peter, good morning to you.
Good morning.
A motorcyclist has been caught speeding in the hills.
Yes, this is about 3 o'clock this morning. Police spotted a motorcyclist travelling at about 150 and 110 zone. That was on the south-eastern freeway. Patrols tried to stop the motorbike as it headed off the freeway. However, they lost sight of it and was last seen heading towards Harndorf. The bike was seen about 15 minutes later on Adelaide Road. The driver again spotted patrols and took off at speed. Now, a second patrol attended the registered owner's Malang address, and as the rider was heading up his driveway, he saw the officers at his front door, and he attempted to take off again, but the bike suffered a mechanical failure, and that is code for the chain came off, and the man surrendered to police. So the rider was breath tested. He provided a positive result of 0.054. Now, he was a learner driver or rider, so he's required to have 0 alcohol in his system. So he was arrested and he was charged with exceeding the speed limit, dangerous driving to escape a police pursuit, and 2 counts of contravening his learner's licence. And he will be appearing in Mount Barker Court at a later date.
Busted pretty badly. And Peter,
I think it was a pretty good roundup there.
Yeah, absolutely. And this sort of feeds naturally into the next item, which is the police operation Stop Drink and Drug Driving starts today.
It does. So that's on again this weekend. So it's starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon and running through to midnight on Sunday. Now, it is a statewide operation, so don't be surprised if you see police out and about in your area conducting static and mobile RBTs. And as we know, so far this year, there have been 105 lives lost on our roads compared to 66 the same time last year. This has been the worst year for lives lost since 2010. And as we've heard from the Bureau, it sounds like the weather's going to be pretty average over the weekend, which always makes driving more challenging. And also, if you are heading out and about and plan on having a few drinks, please just plan a safe way home. Drink drivers, it's pretty selfish behaviour and you can kill yourself or someone else if you're involved in a crash. So we just want everyone to have a great weekend and to stay safe and drive to the conditions.
Absolutely. Good stuff, Peter.
Senior Constable Peter Squire from SAPOL. Michael Keelan's been doing a wonderful job introducing to us some of the wonderful businesses that call South Australia home in the build-up to Christmas for our FIVEAA 12 Days of Christmas promotion. And today he's chatting with Salvi Toure from the SA Farmers Market.
FIVEAA celebrates 12 Days of Christmas.
I'm here with Salvi, the market manager of the SA Farmers Market. Salvi, this is a hive of activity.
Buongiorno, Michele. It is absolutely fantastic. We used to be at Chips Cross, but since March we relocated here, and the atmosphere here, it's all undercover. We've got so many vendors and the public absolutely love it. We're located at the produce markets, entry through Merchant Crescent, Burma Road or Diagonal Road.
Just tell me the opening times.
Okay, the opening times here are 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
Salvi, what about Christmas trading?
Christmas Eve will be open from 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock. Everything will be fantastic, all fresh. Come and do your shopping. You can buy some gifts, fresh produce, seafood, butcher, baker, eggs, olives, honey, wine, plus bric-a-brac. It's got good access, undercover car parking, so come on down.
Yeah, great job, Michael. And I think a lot of people will be doing that in the build-up to Christmas. We're going to meat tray to give away thanks to the great people at Chanella's, asking you what the weirdest thing you found in your garden is. Ted in Osborne's on the line. Morning to you, Ted. G'day, Ted.
I didn't find my plumber was hooking up the sewer we're going from septic to sewer, and they found unexploded shells in it. Unbeknownst to us, when we bought the house, it was built on a old gun site or gun pit from World War II, and we didn't know that.
That's amazing.
We had the bomb squad down and CIB, yeah.
Did they have to explode any of it, Ted?
No, they didn't. But they dug up. I think it was 34 shells that had been And we actually knocked down the old house and rebuilt again. But what we found then, we found a roller line buried in the yard, which was the gun was used to traverse around on. Then we also found their weapon pit.
Wow, that is extraordinary.
Yeah. Whereabouts was all this, Ted?
Military Road, Osborne. It was an actual. I've checked it. We went and checked it out. It was the coppers and found out for me that there was actually a 25-pounder gun pit there for World War II. Yeah,
it was a defensive fortification.
That's incredible.
That's what it was. It was apparently there was 4 of them around the outer harbour Osborne area. Yeah.
Well, I suppose the clue's in the name of the road, isn't it?
I suppose it is.
That's true. Yeah.
Good on you, Ted. Thank you. That's a strong Metro Friday contender. Those 25-pounders were big guns too.
I like this one from Mary. She says, true story, my mum pulled up a plant in her garden and she found a wedding ring in the dirt and had been lost for quite a number of years. This happened in Eastwood. Good call, Mary. Imagine that. You lose it and then you say, oh, there it is. Years later. Amazing.
Didn't happen to me. 5AA News is coming up.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We'll take you through a wrap.
Where did you lose your wedding ring?
Not Aldinga, but it was...
Port Wollonga.
One of the beaches down there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Never found it.
Had it on the towel and I did the old whip the towel to get the sand off and...
Oh.
Yeah, no chance. Gone. Let's not reopen all wounds,
we should have got your dad's metal detector.
Yeah,
you could have walked around in circles around and go, there we go, found a sewage pipe.
Finally got some use out of the damn thing. Right. 5AA News is coming up. We'll take you through a wrap of the big stories next, including the extreme weather over the next 3 days, but also, is South Australia and Adelaide set to lose our biggest company? That's next.
If you're constipated and struggling to poo, here's some great news. Introducing Caruso's Constipation Ease. Caruso's Constipation Ease is a new herbal and fibre combination containing cascara, yellow dog, fennel and green banana powder. These help to relieve constipation by making it easier for you to poo. So if you're struggling to poo and would like to poo more, why not try Caruso's Constipation Ease? Caruso's Constipation Ease is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Mawson Lakes Mazda's 2023 plate clearance sale is on now. Discover amazing deals across the entire range, including free on-road costs on all cars. That's right, free on-road costs across the entire Mazda range. Hurry in to find your perfect model and colour. The sooner you get to the showroom, the better your chance of scoring your dream car. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city, Salisbury Highway.
Now, David, you're still a number of years off becoming an empty nester.
Probably only a couple of decades to go now, Will.
Yeah, that's right. But you are closer to me than me, so you can certainly close your eyes and daydream about a bathroom that's not full of kids' bath toys, or, for you, a pile of teenage clothes, or indeed a bath stained with hair dye.
Well, I don't dye my hair, but all the other allegations are 100% accurate.
Your hair is famously raven black, isn't it?
No.
There's no sign of grey.
Look on the side. No,
there's something to be said for your diet.
And if I grow a beard, big circles of white in it.
Yeah, but still.
Maybe I should get my bathroom done up by Bathrooms by Design and just stock up on the Rogaine Now, if you've earned your dream bathroom, if you've finally got control of the bathroom, choose Bathrooms by Design because they specialise in premium bathroom creation and installation, and all their tradies, including tilers, plumbers, electricians and carpenters, they're overseen by one project manager, and all of your selections are made under one roof.
Reward yourself every day with a luxury bathroom thanks to Bathrooms by Design. Be inspired. View their designs at bathroomsbydesignsa.com.au or pay them a visit at Clovelly Park or Lonsdale.
City Discount Tires. Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. When you buy 3 Wild Peak AT3W all-terrain tires, you'll get the 4th tyre free. The perfect tyre for your next adventure. City Discount Tires are a proud multi-tyre and wheel brand retailer offering great service at great prices. Visit citydiscounttires.com.au to find your nearest store. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Hello? Yeah, g'day, it's Dave. Look, I'm really sorry, but I won't be coming in today. I think I've got a bit of a bug. Hopefully be right by next year.
This summer, don't fight the camping bug. Make the most of it with an Austrac camper.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and a possible storm, a high of 36. With the 7 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Physio Extra for Locomat robotic technology treating stroke, cerebral palsy, brain and spinal cord injuries. Visit physioextra.com.
SA is going to experience 2 vastly different weather events over the next few days. High fire danger followed by potential flooding. Today's summer temperatures, along with strong wind gusts and dry lightning, have the CFS on standby. An aerial water tank has also been brought in from interstate. The fire danger rating's catastrophic across the mid-north, Flinders, York Peninsula, Riverland and Eastern Eyre Peninsula, with the Mount Lofty Ranges, Northeast Pastoral, West Coast, Upper Southeast and Murraylands rated extreme. CFS Chief Officer Brett Laughlin's warning against complacency.
There is a 12 to 24 hour gap between that rain arriving and the significant fire weather conditions. Any fire burning for that length of time under these conditions could be devastating for South Australian communities, and I urge people to not be complacent and rely on the forecast rainfall to save them or to minimise this risk.
A Luna motorcyclist has had his bike impounded after he was caught speeding on the freeway early this morning. The rider was breath tested and provided a positive result. The 25-year-old man from Malang has been charged with exceeding the speed limit, dangerous driving to escape a police pursuit and 2 counts of contravening a condition of his learner's licence. He'll appear in court in January. Scientists have discovered a new way of impairing cancer cell growth with minimal side effects on normal cells. The Children's Medical Research Institute has developed a chemical compound which binds to and inhibits a protein essential to cancer cells. Professor Hilda Pickett says it could lead to the development of new therapies for cancer treatment.
This has really enabled us to get proof of concept. So the next steps are for us to tinker with the chemistry of the compound that we've got and try and make it more potent and more druggable. And then to take it forward into clinical work.
The former British Prime Minister insists efforts to keep the healthcare system from being overwhelmed during the COVID pandemic were successful. Boris Johnson's facing another day of questioning at a COVID inquiry, which is examining decisions made by his government during the health emergency. He says despite the failings, there were some successes.
Our priority was to protect the NHS and save lives. And by the way, unlike the scenes we saw in some other countries, the healthcare system was not overwhelmed in this country. And in that respect, I think that the efforts of the British people paid off.
A disgruntled professor who'd recently been turned down for a job has been identified as the gunman who shot dead 3 people at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. The 67-year-old was killed by police in a shootout. Former NYPD hostage negotiator Marco Alcazar says police are now looking into his motives.
Who was he targeting? Why did he target them? They're going to be canvassing his residence. I think there's search warrants being executed right now to try to get some more information on the mindset of this shooter.
And Nick Kyrgios has launched an OnlyFans account. He says he'll use it to give fans an inside look into his life, his tattoos, his video game play and partying. He says it won't contain explicit material. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors' new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. We'll stick with the tennis theme. Tennis Australia has released the main draw entry list for next month's Aussie Open. Craig Gabriel reports.
There are 9 Australians direct into the main draw. Alex de Minaur, with a ranking of 12, leads the group and on current rankings will be 12th seed. He's followed by Alexei Popper and Max Purcell, Jordan Thompson, Alexander Vukic, Thanasi Kokkinakis, Chris O'Connell and Rinky Hijikata. And in the women's, it's Ayla Tomljanovic. 6 Aussies got wildcards, including Kimberly Birrell and just married James Duckworth. Leading the fields, a 10-time winner and defending champion Novak Djokovic, and in the women's, Iga Swiatek and title holder Irina Sabalenka. Rafa Nadal will use a protected ranking of 9.
Let's go to cricket. World Cup winning duo Travis Head and Glenn Maxwell have both been shortlisted for the ICC's Player of the Month award. Not a great start for Maxwell's Melbourne Stars overnight, smashed by 103 runs against the Brisbane Heat in the BBL season opener. And action continues tonight with the Sydney Sixers hosting the Melbourne Renegades, while tomorrow night the Adelaide Strikers will be in action against the Heat if the weather allows. Let's go to soccer, and Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham have made a brilliant start in their EPL match against West Ham this morning. Defender Christian Romero hitting the score sheet in the 11th minute after missing the past 3 games through suspension.
Header from Romero! What a way to announce his return to the team!
Yeah, great staff audio thanks to Optus. It remains 1-0 after about 20 minutes. One other game on right now as well, with Everton and Newcastle locked at 0-0 at half-time. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Drake supermarkets have dropped prices across a range of Christmas favourites to make Christmas more affordable for you.
G'day there at Flinders Park. Traffic lights out Holbrooks Road near Hartley Road. Andrews Farm, car fire on Petherton Road near Stebbin Heath Road. Slow for works at Seaford at the moment. Main South Road near Robinson Road. Anchor Lane out of action today at Torrensville. South Road near Ashwin Parade. You find cameras Cliff Street, Glengarry and Ayers Avenue at Dill Park. The Adelaide Strikers are taking on the Brisbane Heat tomorrow at the Adelaide Oval. Don't miss a moment of the action. Search Strikers BBL tickets to secure your seats now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
When you've earned your dream bathroom, speak to Bathrooms by Design, Clovelly Park and Lonsdale.
A shower or two and possible storm today, a high of 36. Rain possibly heavy at times tomorrow, 19. Rain at times on Sunday, also 19. And a shower or two Monday, 30. At the moment, 29. More news as it happens on 5AA.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
7:08. It is muggy out there at the moment in the city. In other places, there's been a drizzle of rain, albeit obviously the vast majority of that we're expecting to see over the next 2 days. We've got some texts on the Duttons text line. Raining in Clearview, says one. Robin said, as we were chatting with Mark from the Weather Bureau, a little drizzle at West Lakes, a brief drop. And at Port Victoria, a text here says there's some thunder, no wind, very calm, but overcast. It's that thunder and lightning that has emergency services today on high alert. In fact, yesterday, the SES, the CFS, the Weather Bureau, had a press event where they described this as the most significant fire weather risk that South Australia has faced in recent years. So we'll get to a top of 36 by midday. It's already about 30 degrees outside in the city at the moment. There are catastrophic bushfire conditions predicted for the Eastern Eyre Peninsula, Flinders, Mid-North, York Peninsula and the Riverland today. Extreme fire danger warnings for Mount Lofty Ranges, the Murraylands, Upper South East, the North East Pastoral and the West Coast. The problem is not just the heat, the change and the risk of lightning. There's also thunder. It's the triple threat today. It's the wind that makes it the triple threat today. Wind gusts up to 90 k's an hour. Dry lightning. It's got all the ingredients for a particularly nasty day. SA Power Networks have warned that there could well be blackouts over the course of the day and indeed the weekend. Some precautionary measures have been taken. 34 schools will close across those areas I described a moment ago as having the catastrophic bushfire designation. Then the rain comes, and then we've got to make preparations for rainfall that could be up to 150 mils, not in Adelaide, but in some parts of South Australia. Darren Halliday is the Chief of Staff at the SES and joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Given all that I've just described, Darren, how do you go about preparing for the next 3 days?
It's going to be a case of pivoting from one risk to another. The Country Fire Service are working feverishly in regard to the fire arrangements. So I'm here to talk to you this morning, I suppose, about some of the other risks that we're considering over the next couple of days, and particularly keeping people very safe in the heat across our broad state, and all of our usual messaging of staying hydrated, avoiding the heat in the peak of the day, and trying to limit our outside work activities to the morning and the afternoon and evening. But also then pivoting over to what we're concerned about from our perspective with the wind across quite a large part of the state today, and obviously the risk not only of the fire weather, which is a significant challenge, but we're also looking at the issue of trees down, trees over roads, and the possibility of, with 100-kilometre-hour winds coming across some parts of the state at peak, some damaging to buildings and such like. So we're just asking the community to be certainly very highly aware of the risks that have been published, but also to be thinking very widely across particularly from our perspective, the wind and then the rain over the weekend.
Talking to the Weather Bureau with Mark Hanalak at 6:45, Darren, it sounds like it's going to be quite a broad area that is potentially affected. I mean, it sounds pretty much like the whole state is potentially in the firing line.
Yeah, we're certainly preparing for risks across the whole state. We're looking at the higher winds, certainly through large parts of the state today, and obviously that will change as the front comes through with where we'll be profiling that. But then moving over the rest of the weekend, particularly into Sunday, we'll have a focus on that Eyre Peninsula area, and particularly where there's significant rain forecast over there, and what that means for our transport systems and access and messaging for people not to drive through floodwaters and to be patient and to keep really heavily monitoring of a weather situation before they take their journeys.
I always consider it quite miraculous how the SES works, given all the people that help out are volunteers, and we know the call goes out if there's a storm event in Adelaide and trees come down, and we see the trucks go out, and it's quite magnificent how it all comes together. When you've got good forewarning of such a big event over such a large area, do you put people on standby? Are people waiting for call-outs? How does it work with that volunteer workforce? And how many people would there be waiting for calls right now and ready to go?
Okay, as you put forward, our volunteer workforce are the backbone. They are our agency. So they conduct all of our work on the ground and are heavily involved in the local incident management when it comes through. At the moment, we've got the better part of 1,700 volunteers on standby, ready to move forward for the wind and the rain events, and they'll obviously also support the Country Fire Service with their incredibly heightened risk that we can't understate for today either. Those volunteers are, as you mentioned, right across the state, and whether it be a small station out in some of our rural and remote areas, or whether it be some of our larger metropolitan units, they're very much leaning forward into this event over the weekend, and they've undertaken some local preparedness, as well as making sure that they're working safely in this heat and potentially needing to travel through some at-risk areas to get to where they need to go to help the community.
Well, Darren, all the very best to you and all of your colleagues for what could be a pretty wild 48 hours in South Australia. Darren Halliday there, the Chief of Staff for the State Emergency Services.
We'll be checking with the CFS a little bit later over the course of the morning, and SA Power Networks too, as they all make preparations for the days ahead.
And stick around, folks, for Breaking at 8. We are going to bring you South Australia's fullest account of every Christmas and community-related activity that is being cancelled or postponed this weekend. There's already dozens of events, a lot of them carols. It sounds like there's a view, certainly one that talking to the SES before when we were organising that interview, I think that they're of the view that any event involving large crowds of people standing around in public over the coming 36 hours should be rethought.
There's a big story that broke late yesterday where the biggest company in Adelaide, biggest company headquartered in Adelaide, Santos, issued a statement to the stock exchange confirming rumours about talks with Woodside Energy, who are a big mining and energy giant based in Perth, merging. They say they confirm they've engaged in preliminary discussions with Woodside regarding a potential merger. The statement goes on, Santos continuously reviews opportunities to create and deliver value for shareholders. Concurrently, Santos is assessing a range of alternative structural options with a view to unlocking value as referred to on Santos's investor. The consideration of any merger is at the early stage. There's no agreement between the parties. There is no certainty that any transaction will eventuate from these discussions. Santos will continue to update the market in accordance with its continuous disclosure obligations. So early days.
It's a real concern for South Australia.
I think this is a huge story.
It's huge twofold. We lose our biggest private, locally headquartered business overnight. Just gets subsumed into Santos. But what would it mean for jobs? It would mean that so much, probably more at the upper level, so much duplication would exist where you've got, I mean, I know how these mining companies work, but there would be a lot of people who would find themselves sort of sitting next to someone from Woodside going, "Oh, you do that too, do you?"
Yeah. We've spoken about this in the context of the uni merger, trying to pass out how it can be that they say there won't be significant job losses, because in the private sector we know mergers and acquisitions happen in part because you resolve duplications.
Yeah.
You can say, well, we do energy and you do gas.
Well, the other thing, though, is unlike the public service, they're not going to be bound by any misty-eyed sentiment about...
No, not at all.
Or there's no, as far as we can tell so far, and I would not foresee that there would be any guarantees given by a privately run company to say, no, all jobs will be safe.
That would seem quite unlikely.
No net job losses. I don't think you'll be getting a pledge like that from Woodside or Santos.
It looks like it's very much in the early stages, but that's a big story to watch for 2024.
So what would the biggest company headquartered in South Australia be?
I was about to ask that very question.
I reckon it might be Coopers.
Yeah, they'd have to be in the conversation.
What's the second biggest company after Santos?
Anyone got any thoughts? What would be the second biggest company headquartered in Adelaide be behind Santos? Let us know if you've got one to throw into the mix, because we're at a loose end. 8223 0000. You can text us on the Duttons text line. And how about this? McDonald's, this will excite you, David. McDonald's is planning a new mega burger. Mega. They're not throwing around the word mega very lightly. They're going to sell a burger that's bigger than the Big Mac and the double quarter pounder. You're a quarter pounder man, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not a double quarter pounder man,
Okay.
though. The balance gets all wrong, in my view.
Apparently, in the burger world, there's this arms race of size that's going on, and the CEO of McDonald's have said they don't like the fact they're being left behind. The burger it doesn't have a name as yet. It'll be trialled in the US, and they know something about big burgers in the United States. Then it will get rolled out worldwide.
Do we have a size on it? It'd be in imperial too, wouldn't it?
Royale with cheese?
Royale with cheese.
I don't know. No, there's no sizing. Just that it will be.
Quarter pound in grams, about 125 grams.
Right. Well, it's bigger than the double. It's bigger than twice that.
112 grams to be precise.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. You can get a double Big Mac. I had one of them once. It didn't make sense. It was just no. The lettuce to mayo to meat to bun ratio is all out of whack.
Well, it concerns me that it's based on US appetites, the CEO's comments, because you order, large fries in the US is a box of fries that's as longer than your arm.
Well, what about how much soft drink they drink? You order those soft drinks. It's like, you could use that to...
You could bathe in it.
Put out bushfires from tipping it out of a plane. But then they have bottomless cups as well. It's crazy.
Well, it's going to be big. We know that much. 19 after 7. Let's check traffic and come back with more of your Meat Tray Friday entries in just a moment.
Quite a few people have got their thinking caps on the Duttons text line too. Thomas Foods International, that would make sense. That would probably be our biggest company.
Yep, that makes sense.
Another one suggests the excellent people at RAA or On the Run as well. And a good question here. If we lose Santos, does it mean we also lose our local branch of Extinction Rebellion?
Oh, so it's not all bad news, is what you're saying?
Well, what are they going to glue themselves to now?
Thomas Foods?
On the Run.
On the Run.
RAA.
They might move into state.
Yeah.
I'm coming round on the idea. All right, let's check traffic. Keep those texts coming in too. Call into Duttons, Mount Barker or Murray Bridge. Purchase a new or used vehicle and go in the draw to win $3,000.
Thanks, Will. The odd passing shower this morning. Be aware of those on the drive in. Look out for lights on the blink at Flinders Park, Holbrooks Road near Hartley Road, Andrews Farm, Car Fire, Petherton Road near Stephen Heath Road. Works at Adahara slow at the moment. Victoria Road near Sir Keith Smith Drive. Angon Lane closed at Torrensville. South Road near Ashwin Parade. You find a camera this morning, Ayers Avenue, Door Park. Beat the heat with OTR's barista-made cold coffee range. Coffee, chocolate, chai, matcha and more. All icy cold and convenience. That's OTR. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
The state government denies it's fudging ambulance ramping figures to make them appear better. The government's saying, well, we'll fix ramping. It's worsened by 2,000 hours. The highest it's ever been. Never been over 4,000 before. Last month, 4,285.
Weekday mornings from 9.
If it's happening, then the figures are worse than they appear now.
On 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
We understand not all small businesses are the same. That's why Nissan Fleet offers tailored vehicle solutions for your unique business needs. With dedicated fleet managers available across Australia, we're your local fleet experts, providing quality advice, support and customer service for the entire life of your vehicle fleet. Visit your local Nissan dealer or search Nissan Fleet today and we'll find the right business solution for you.
Get great value Christmas dishes for every budget at Coles. Like Coles RSPCA approved whole chicken was $5.50, now down to just $4.50 a kilo. That's great value hands down at Coles.
These Austrac campers come with 240 litres of fresh water on board, so dirty weekends away are a thing of the past. That's what it means, doesn't it, with all the dirt? No?
Really?
Austrac campers!
Now, organising a memorial for a treasured family member can seem a lot, but not if you speak with Tim from Adelaide Memorials. For over 40 years, Adelaide Memorials have kept the memory and spirit alive for so many South Australian families with beautifully designed headstones and plaques.
He's a superstar, Tim. He'll sit with you to show you all the wonderful ways to memorialise the life of your loved one. And there's no set and forget or rush. You're not just a number. There's genuine empathy and genuine attention to detail.
And a lot of creativity too, because Tim has an architectural background. The headstones and plaques he makes and designs are often customised to reflect an individual's life. Could be including the lyrics to a favourite song, or how's this, even a headstone carved into the shape of a guitar.
And currently there's room on their team for an experienced craftsperson with a trade background. So if you're interested in joining this small, passionate team, get in touch with Tim. Adelaide Memorials. For extra personal service, visit adelaidememorials.com.au.
For nearly 40 years, no one has done certified used cars quite like Steinborner Automotive, with dedicated yards including SA's best range of commercials loaded and ready to go, including SA's only dedicated small car and SUV centre, and SA's only large SUV and 4x4 centre suited for any lifestyle. Steinborner still also has the best range of Commodores, from ZBs to the collectibles. View all late model used vehicles at steinborner.com.au. Steinborner Automotive. It's well worth the trip.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
– 24 minutes after 7, we're going to flash back in time with Michael Smith very shortly. A little bit later in the morning, Feedback Friday, of course. And speaking of taking a little bit of a walk down history lane, Gavin from Grundy's Shoes, we talked about a moment ago South Australia's biggest business. They would lay claim to being South Australia's oldest business. We'll talk about the family after 7:30 today. Right now, though, let's reflect on what has been a big year in sport with Timmy G, $19 schnitty Monday to Wednesday at the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior and Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Barrow Hotel.
Speaking about report cards with distinctions, here's Ginnivan.
Tim Ginnivan on 5AA Breakfast.
Timmy G sings his own theme song. Timmy, good morning to you.
Good morning, gentlemen, and Will, I know it's your last appearance, so thank you very much for your terrific year that you've had.
Thank you, Timmy. I appreciate it.
Very kind of you, Tim.
Am I coming back?
Well, yeah, we'll talk.
Okay,
right. No. Okay. He's got to have his end of year chat, does he?
What a way to find out.
Performance review.
Hey, Timmy, you had a fascinating chat with Caro last night, wrapping up her big stories of the year.
Yeah, which was great. She always does a top 10 of the AFL stories of the year, the way she saw them, and she gave her list. And I got to say, I was a bit shocked at the Keys non-goal was lodged in at number 6. I thought it was way higher than that. I would have had it.
Well, that's the view from Victoria, isn't it, Tim?
Well, what was it?
Well, that's
what
right.
else? What was in the top 6? Makes me wonder.
Yeah, so number 1 was, and she said, I always do this, I think it's got to be whoever wins the premiership.
Don't tell me she said it was the Crows camp.
Sadly, number 2 this year.
Sorry. I'll shut up now, Tim.
Gold. Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
I loved it. Yeah, so Collingwood's premiership, but then she had number 2, Hardwick's resignation, which I thought was way too high.
She wouldn't be a Richmond fan, Caro, would she?
Yeah. I thought Hardwick's resignation was a sham.
No.
That's what I would have put it in the sham file.
Yeah. Resignation. You mean he's moved to the Gold Coast? That's what it was.
Sure, not wrong. Alistair Clarkson leaving coaching, she said, was number 3, which, again, we know the stresses that were around that. Would I put it that high as far as an AFL story goes? No. I think Keys is above all of those, quite frankly, the non-goal, because it just highlighted we're at that no man's land between technology and human error that we haven't got right yet.
Yeah, and I would say coaches leave every year, but we don't every year have an incident necessarily that makes people wonder how professional is the AFL as an entity. And how does it stand up compared to other sporting codes? And that's what the Keys goal did. Had me going,
exactly.
Would any other professional sport, could this happen? Would this happen? How would they handle it?
The AFL spend an enormous amount of money in all sorts of areas, but one of them is not making sure that we've got the best technology for, reviewing. And that's what they've got to go and invest in. It's just, and that was the big highlight of it. And that was, they should have been able to call that back without any qualms. And the umpire's got a little piece in his ear, and they say, go back.
Exactly.
Actually, it was a goal. And done. That we have to be there, and that was embarrassing. So I if you want to put the premiership as number 1, I have the non-goal as number 2. I thought it was that high.
Yeah,
so
I think that's fair.
So I thought
I'd even say a side winning a premiership is not much of a story. I mean, it tends to happen every year.
Yeah,
one of the teams wins. That's the whole point of the season.
Well, in India last week, they had a camera on a tube that they fed through 4.5 kilometres of solid rock and sent back crystal clear pictures of the people inside.
Yeah, that's true.
We can't put a camera on a goalpost.
No.
We got better technology out here on the balcony at 5AA at the moment to take our weather
phone
pictures.
On a stick.
Yeah, phone on a stick. We should do that. We should take the phone on a stick down there for the next Crow-Sydney game and just stick it on top of the goalpost.
Andrew Dillon has been in contact with us.
Yeah.
I don't want to say
the irony of that was the best footage came from people behind the goals.
Totally, 100%. You can see like about a metre between the ball and the post.
Maybe the AFL could get everyone to download an app for next season, and you can vote, was it a goal or a behind?
Yeah, crowdsourcing.
That's it. And we might have to crowdfund the technology because they're not going to pay it, are they?
Well, can't they use all their gambling revenue, like get Sportsbet to pay for it?
Well, isn't that's another irony, isn't it? That's another subject matter we could put our teeth in. But I thought, tonight we'll probably discuss a few, highs and lows of Port and Crows years and then move into what's going to be an exciting 24. But Rowie has done a list and he said, I've got to do this tonight. And I said, hold it, we'll do it tomorrow. Time magazine, would you have thought that Time magazine, the person of the year, I always thought Time magazine, the person of the year would have been somebody incredibly significant who's done amazing things that year, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you 2 names. In 2007, Vladimir Putin won it. He was on the front of Time magazine. And not that long ago, Donald Trump was also Time magazine person of the year.
You often get it when you're a talking point.
Is that what it is?
Sometimes, yeah.
I want to know the clarification of it, because I just couldn't believe that those.
So what you're saying is you're saying Taylor Swift shouldn't be that excited about being on the cover. Well, strange company.
Yeah, exactly. I think T Swift deserves it. I think she's a person definitely that deserves it. But I think some of the others are a bit questionable. But we're going to go back and have a look at Sports Illustrated Athlete of the Year and go right back in time to have a look and see who those people were. So should be a good talking point tonight.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Good on you, Timmy. Have a good night. Excellent. Have a great show. Rowie and Timmy G tonight, $19 Schnitty, Monday to Wednesday at the Birkenhead Tavern Excelsior and Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Varro Hotel.
This Christmas will look a lot different for struggling families and vulnerable members of our community. The ongoing cost of living crisis makes it impossible to put a decent family meal on the table. And keeping a roof over their heads is getting harder and harder. People shouldn't be hungry, anxious and desperate this Christmas. Vinnie's needs your help to give emergency support this Christmas. Head to vinnies.org.au or call 13 18 12 to donate.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Showers, a possible storm and 36 today. With the 7:30 news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Try Locomat robotic gait training technology for neurological issues at Physio Extra. Visit physioextra.com.
The Weather Bureau has revised the rainfall totals for this weekend. We're likely to see heavy falls tomorrow, but the rain will ease on Sunday with 15 mils now expected. Until then, it's going to be hot and muggy, and a fire danger rating is catastrophic across 5 regions. Mark Anilak from the Bureau explains when we'll see the cool change sweep across the state.
Today we're starting off quite warm, 29 degrees at the moment. We'll shoot up to 36 very quickly, probably by lunchtime, at which stage we're expecting a cool change to come through, probably around about 2:30 this afternoon, so between 2 and 3 o'clock this afternoon.
More than 34 regional schools have been closed today due to the extreme temperatures. Police will be out in force today as Operation Stop, Drink, Drive and Drugs begins. Senior Constable Peter Squire explains what officers will be focusing on.
So it's starting at 4 o'clock this afternoon and running through to midnight on Sunday. Now it is a statewide operation, so don't be surprised if you see police out and about in your area conducting static and mobile RBTs.
The state's road toll's currently 105 compared to 66 at the same time last year. That's the worst year for road deaths since 2010. The state government says it'll do everything possible to see Santos headquarters stay in SA. It comes after the local gas giant confirmed talks with WA-based Woodside about an $80 billion merger to create a global brand. The National Domestic Family and Sexual Violence Support Service is launching an SMS service. Anyone experiencing it can now access 1800-RESPECT via text message to ensure those who can't access telephone or internet services can still get help. Social Services Minister Amanda Rishworth says it also provides a more discreet avenue for those fleeing violent situations.
So we want those people, all those women, to reach out and use whatever avenue they are most comfortable with to actually access support and help.
Tropical cyclone Jasper's been upgraded to a Category 4. It's sitting 1,200 kilometres off the far north Queensland coast and is expected to make landfall early next week. There's been a tragic update after a young man was buried alive on a Queensland beach over the weekend. More from Siobhan Fay.
It's a decision no parent should have to make. After 5 days, Josh Taylor's parents chose to turn off his life support. Aged in his 20s, he was buried alive in a freak accident on Saturday afternoon at Bribie Island. He'd managed to fall into a 1.5 metre hole that had been dug to roast a pig. Unable to be pulled from the pit and trapped under the sand, he remained buried alive until a team of 15 managed to free him. Friends and family performing 40 minutes of CPR before his pulse returned. He remained in hospital in a critical condition, fighting for life, before the heartbreaking decision was made. His loved ones remembering him as the most courageous person and the best son, brother, boyfriend and mate they could have wished for.
Australia's classrooms have been named among the most disruptive in the world. A third of students say they don't listen to their teacher during most lessons. Australia ranks 71 out of 81 nations surveyed when it comes to classroom discipline. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderol Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderol.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Let's start with cricket, and the BBL season is underway, and it's been a brilliant start for the Brisbane Heat, smashing the Melbourne Stars by 103 runs at the Gabba. Meantime, players will be looking to impress today on day 3 of the Prime Minister's 11 against Pakistan in Canberra. Matt Renshaw and Cam Green are both at the crease, with the home side set to resume at 2 for 149. Well, the Adelaide 36ers will be casting a wide net to find a new coach for next year's NBL season. This comes after current coach CJ Bruton was fired following a slow start to the season, which has left the club struggling in 9th place. Sixers CEO Nick Barbetto has told Rowie and Timmy G they're open to coaches with all ranges of experience.
And we're leaving it open, Timmy. So there's an argument to go for an experienced coach that's done it before, and there's other arguments to go with a more younger coach who's looking for the opportunities.
The Sixers take on Cairns tomorrow night in their first game under interim coach Scott Ninnis. Last night, the Sydney Kings beat Cairns by 3 points. The second half played without a shot clock after it malfunctioned. Well, Australia's top-ranked tennis star Alex de Minaur is determined to break into the world's top 10 next year. He'll spearhead Australia's United Cup campaign alongside Isla Tomljanovic, and he's told today he's looking forward to representing Australia once more.
We got close in the Davis Cup. It's given a lot of hunger to make sure with Isla we can play well and start the year off with a bang.
It's now half-time in the English Premier League match between Tottenham and West Ham. Ange Postecoglou's men still leading that match 1-0. One other game on this morning, and there's about 20 minutes to play with scores still locked at 0-0 between Everton and Newcastle. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Drake supermarkets have dropped prices across a range of Christmas favourites to make Christmas more affordable for you.
Good morning there. The odd passing shower. Keep it in mind of the drive-in. Look for lights out today at Flinders Park, Holbrooks Road near Hartley Road, Andrews Farmer Car Fire on Petherton Road near 7 Heath Road. Slow for works at Seaford, Main South Road near Robinson Road, speeds at 40. And cameras today, Adelaide Terrace, Edwardstown and Grey Terrace at Rosewater. Make Christmas super with the latest Super Cheap Auto catalogue with loads of great Christmas gifts for the whole family. Hurry, sale ends December 10 at Super Cheap Auto. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
When you've earned your dream bathroom, speak to Bathrooms by Design, Clovelly Park and Lonsdale.
Showers and a possible storm today, 36. Rain heavy at times tomorrow, 19. Rain at times on Sunday, also 19. Then a shower or two on Monday, 30. At the moment, 29. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hi, it's Hazel from Physio Extra. If you're in pain today because you had a big weekend on the footy field, on the court or in the garden, give us a call today for a same-day appointment. For example, if you rolled your ankle, try and stay off it as much as possible, compress it and add a little bit of ice. When you come in for your appointment, we might ask you questions like if you heard any sounds, if you've hurt the area before, or if you've done anything similar on the opposite side.
It's the extra in Physio Extra that makes all the difference. Visit physioextra.com for your nearest location or call for a same-day appointment.
The glass bottle is back. Flurio Milk Company have partnered with the Udder Way to bring you milk in a glass bottle. Look for milk refill stations in your supermarket, purchase your own glass bottle, fill it, take it home, drink it and bring it back to use again. No plastic, no waste. Just fresh Flurio milk in a glass bottle. It's like the good old days, but better. Look for milk refill stations in your local supermarket or visit fluriomilkco.com.au.
What do you call chef quality gelato? You call it Gelista gelato. At Gelista, they begin by making the gelato that chefs wish they had the time to make for themselves. The secret is Australian ingredients bought directly from the farmer wherever possible.
Gelista molto bene. It's this quality with their attention to detail that creates Gelista's unmistakable taste and texture. Now, what about this lineup of flavours? There's coconut and raspberry. peanut butter with chocolate caramel swirl, or my personal favourite, ricotta, fig and honey. How good do they sound?
Sounds unbelievable. Not only is it a huge hit across Australia, but it's now also being sold to China as well. In fact, it's a big part of the bringing down the wall. This is a thawing, quite literally, of the relationship between Australia and China.
That's right.
That's what happened. Albo went over there with a bucket of Jalista.
He did.
And Xi Jinping went,
yeah.
Trade bans are off.
Then he's been locked in his room eating Jalista.
Lobster, wine, all the tariffs.
We want all the Australian stuff.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, mainly we want the
parade
Jalista.
Through the Straits of Taiwan? Go for it.
Drop all these tariffs purely in order to get our hands on Jalista Gelato.
Keep an eye out for 2 new flavours coming out for summer. For stockist locations, simply look on their socials at Jalista Gelati or visit jalista.com.au. Jalista Gelato, it's indulgence in a jar.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
20 to 8. Love celebrating the history of our fine state. We do. We were talking in the last half hour about the biggest business in South Australia, the biggest business headquartered here, Santos, and what their future is. I want to look into the past at one of the longest-lived businesses in South Australia. Grundy Shoes has been around for 155 years. They've sold 5 million pairs. Been going since 1868. It's hard to imagine what the state looked like in 1868.
So it was 30 years old.
Who was buying the shoes? Who was working at Grundy's?
32 years old.
Gavin Wittenbury is working at Grundy's right now and joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Gavin, good morning to you.
Good morning, Dave. Good morning, Will. Thanks for the chat.
No, not at all, mate. So this piqued our interest the other day when we were doing one of the live reads, and I said to Will, I can't believe that this little shoe shop, this little family business has been around for that long.
It's an amazing story. Like, it's an iconic South Australian business, and it's one that our family and staff are very proud of.
So did it start in Rundle Street? Was that the first place? Because I know I've bought shoes myself at Grundy's over the years.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
That's where it started.
Our family business history begins in 1855 aboard the sailing ship Taymouth Castle, sort of bound for South Australia. And on board was my great-great-great-grandfather, Thomas Judd, just as a 10-year-old boy, along with his mother, father and uncle. And halfway through the journey, Thomas tripped on the deck and he actually broke his leg quite badly. It was set by a suspect doctor on board. And it was this event that led to our family business being established sort of 155 years ago. So when they arrived in Adelaide, Thomas couldn't find shoes or boots to fit him. So with the help of his uncle, he learnt the trade and started manufacturing his own.
Wow, that's unbelievable.
So soon enough, business boomed, and in 1868, he actually opened a store in the east end of Adelaide selling shoes and boots to the workers in the old produce market.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. So where did the name Grundy's come from then, Gavin?
So we purchased the Grundy's business in 1921.
Okay.
And the family decided to keep the name. And it's a store, in the city store, we're still trading out of that same location now. So when he was trading in the east end of Adelaide, he then moved into the bigger premises in Rundle Street and started the Star Boot Manufacturing Company. And then we moved up to Grundy's in 1921 when we acquired that business. And also in the 1920s, Judd's Shoes was opened on the corner of Regent Arcade and Rundle Street, where Peter Shearer's are now, actually. And this was Adelaide's first ever ladies-only shoe boutique. It was quite a big event at the time. So, and we traded with Judd's Shoes right up until the early 90s. And also along the way, the family purchased, I'm sure a lot of your listeners would remember, Barlow Shoes.
Yeah.
So we had Barlow Shoes in 67 Rundle Mall. We purchased that business in the 60s, and we kept the name once again. And we traded right in through until the early 2000s, where we closed that store and really concentrated on the Grundy side of the business, which is trading particularly well today.
So your great-great-great-grandfather, do you
Correct.
guys still have any of the shoes that he made?
We do. We've actually got a little museum down at our Glenelg store upstairs there. So we've got some old machinery, the tools he used to use. And if you come into our city store, it's really quite interesting. There's some amazing photos in the store itself as well of family members, dating right back to two Thomas Judd, Clarence Judd, right throughout the generation. So
that's cool.
And it is, and it's amazing to think we've actually got we've just had our 7th generation into the business as well. So we've got 2 young family members come in, which are really keen to learn, and they're doing an awesome job. So it's a great story. Great story.
Well, we're really glad that we lined this chat up, Gavin. I thought it would be something that takes us right back to the dawn of SA, the colony back then in the 19th century. It's an amazing family tale, and you know, great local business, and good to see that you're still prospering 7 generations on. Gavin Wittenbury there.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate that. Thanks very much.
Good on you, mate. Grundy shoes.
Thanks, mate.
Put them on your feet. Fantastic.
Could you, if you could speak to someone who'd been around the entire history of Grundy shoes about how business has changed, you could ask them questions about, you know, the 1868 gold rush. Did that drive? And then you go, what about Federation? How did that change? And how did the First World War impact business? And what about the Great Depression? That like every major event in Australian history.
There's news out of Paris. There's been a socialist takeover of the capital, and they've turned the city into a commune. Was that 1870?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
It's just the most...
How good would it have been, though, going to the produce market back then? Although that's relatively recently. It was still operating up until the 1980s.
Mm.
It's sad now. I look at I think it's called facadism in architecture, where they keep the very, very front of a building
and get rid of the back.
Like what they're doing at the moment on King William Street with the old Southern Cross Arcade. They've kept the absolute front of the stationer's building, and then they're sticking some ruddy great new monstrous building inside it. But you see the facade of the East End, and it's got a car park in it.
It looks beautiful, though. The facade is nice.
The facade looks beautiful, but...
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, the actual building itself would have looked a hell of a lot better.
All right, well, let's flash back now in time with a man who does it for a living.
It's time to Flashback with Michael Smith.
I'm not sure we're going as far back as 1868 this morning with you, Michael, and good morning.
No, more than 90s, Will and David. We're going back to 1996, in fact, to remember one of Adelaide's biggest ever building fires, a fire so big the smoke could be seen across most of the city. This was the old News Limited building where Rupert Murdoch famously started his empire back in the 50s. But people don't remember where it was. The News building was directly opposite the Intercontinental Hotel on North Terrace, where the Playford Hotel stands today. And on an otherwise quiet Wednesday afternoon, what appeared to be a small fire suddenly engulfed the building. The News building had been abandoned by that point because, of course, the operations had been moved down to King William Street and Weymouth Street for the newspapers. The building had been overtaken by squatters. This fire was so destructive, but the biggest concern was for guests at the adjoining Grosvenor Hotel. About 80 rooms at the Grosvenor were damaged by smoke or fire. Many of them had their windows effectively blown out. 350 guests had to be evacuated. They ended up sleeping the night. They camped on the floor at the Adelaide Convention Centre. Have a listen to some of the drama that day in this report from Bryony Hume.
When smoke was seen wafting from the old News building, nobody, not even the fire service, expected it would come to this. 20 fire units, millions of litres of water, 350 guests from the neighbouring Grosvenor Hotel wondering if their possessions would also go up in flames. It was a fear shared by fire officers, desperate to ensure nobody was still trapped inside the hotel.
We urgently need the keys to isolate the power.
There's been no sign of 7 homeless people known to sleep rough round here, but still there's the hope they've simply gone to ground.
A 17-year-old girl ended up admitting lighting the fire. She had a range of mental health and drug abuse problems. More broadly, though, this fire highlighted the growing problem of homelessness in Adelaide, because at that time, in the mid-90s, there were a number of abandoned buildings on that part of North Terrace which had been overtaken by squatters. The redevelopment of the building was demolished eventually to build the Playford Hotel, really sort of sparked a renaissance for that part of North Terrace, which is now one of the most fashionable parts of the city, but certainly wasn't back then when the fire engulfed the News building.
I can remember that well. It was a huge story at the time. Amazing. It was amazing that no one ended up dying too.
Well, indeed, Dave, because there were so many people sleeping rough in and around there. And, of course, as Bryony said in that report, there were fears that people may have been caught up in the blaze. Premier Dean Brown went for a tour of the building the next day with MFS officers as they were literally looking for potential victims of that blaze. But a huge fire, and anyone who was around them would remember the thick, acrid smoke that blew across much of the city.
Yeah, some extraordinary pictures too that you'll see on Sunday night as part of 7 News Flashback segment with Michael Smith. Thank you, Michael, and let's hope that's the only time today we hear a news report about fire. Jason in Gawler has called into the program.
Well,
Morning to you,
watch this
Jason.
space.
How you going, fellas? All right?
Yeah, good, thanks, Jason. What's going on in your neck of the woods, mate?
I'm just heading on my way up to Port Augusta now. I've just come through Loch Hill, and it looks like the weather's already just started. On the way out this morning, you can see lightning around, and up on the top of the hummocks, just before the wind farm at Loch Hill there's a bit of a fire happening right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just up there, yeah. Yep.
Bit of a grass fire, mate.
Yeah, on top of the hills there, just before the wind farm that heads from Loch Hill all the way to Snowtown. So, yeah, a couple of units are up there, putting it out, so, yeah.
Okay, so they're already attending to it, are they?
Well, that's good to hear.
news, because we are checking with the CFS after 8 o'clock today. We'll be chatting with them. Jason, thank you. Obviously, the state is on high alert. We're going to be, after we take a quick break, we're going to be checking in with a farmer on the York Peninsula where, of course, a total catastrophic bushfire condition has been declared. Schools have been closed and so forth. So we'll be checking in with Ben Wondersits, a farmer on the York Peninsula, in just a moment. Let's check traffic first and come back with more shortly.
Thanks, Will. The odd passing shower this morning. Be aware of those on the drive in. Got a smash at Northfield, Grand Junction Road near Peter Brown Drive, causing some pretty solid delays at the moment. Flinders Park, traffic lights out of action there. Holbrooks Road near Hartley Road. And they're wrapping up a car fire at the moment at Andrews Farm, Petherton Road near 7 Heath Road. You'll find cameras today, McInerney Avenue, Mitchell Park and Military Road at Grange. Get great value at IGA this Christmas and support people in need. Buy a $2 bauble at your local IGA, and all funds raised go to Vinnie's to help Aussies impacted by the cost of living crisis. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Energy providers are still emptying your wallet, but the good news is that now it's cheaper to generate your own electricity using solar and batteries. NRG Solar's expertise can guide you to owning your energy sooner. As a trusted retailer, they provide you with top-tier solar battery technology, complete with a 10-year warranty, blackout protection, and user-friendly apps for ultimate control. Fight back with NRG Solar and take charge of your electricity. Visit nrgsolar.com.au today.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. On time, on budget, on the job.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
The Adelaide Hills are most certainly alive. So many new families are now making the tree change, and these people need room to breathe and space to dream. They've chosen to discover what is on the road less travelled. So if you're heading to the hills up the freeway, take the Mount Barker exit, turn left, and soon you'll be discovering the home of Mazda in the hills. Mount Barker Mazda has the best selection of Mazdas waiting for you, and the big man is coming to the hills. So celebrate the festive season with 25 days of deals this December. You can save up to $9,000 across the demo range. Plus, with any new Mazda in stock, receive a $1,000 fuel voucher. They're on site. And how good's this? Available for immediate delivery. Take the road less travelled to Mazda's home in the hills, Mount Barker Mazda, since 1954. Mount Barker Road, Totnes.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
7 to 8. Catastrophic bushfire conditions today for the Eastern Eyre Peninsula, Flinders, Mid-North, Riverland and York Peninsula. That's where we find Ben Wondersits out on Yorks. Ben, good morning to you, mate. Welcome to the program.
Good morning.
So, what? First and foremost, it's 7 to 8. What's the weather looking like out there at the moment?
The wind's building a bit. We're certainly expecting a pretty rough day, and in our operations, we sort of started planning for this last night. So,
what does that mean when you say you've started preparing? What does that entail?
Well, for us, we've got 4 fire trucks on farm. We've got a lot of water on farm, so it's just making sure that we cease paddock operations early, and then we make sure we've got staff and really just follow what is a bushfire plan.
We had a press conference here in town yesterday with a lot of the emergency services personnel who said these are the worst bushfire. Today is the worst bushfire conditions they've seen in a number of years. Does it feel that way to you on York Peninsula?
Look, not as yet. They forecast the winds to sort of peak at 40 kilometres an hour, and that obviously puts us into that catastrophic rating. I'm hoping it's sort of not as bad as we've seen in the past, but really you've just got to prepare for the worst and see how it plays out.
So you would have seen worse days than this, I'm guessing, over the years, Ben?
Well, yeah, I think so. Often it's going really hard. The wind's, blowing really hard early. So yeah, I hope it's, don't take away it's going to be a catastrophic day, but I just hope it's not that absolutely catastrophic. Yeah. It
feels like the Weather Bureau is struggling a bit to gauge exactly how bad it's going to be, because the rain band, as predicted, there's a sort of 5 to 25, so that's for the metropolitan area, not for Yorks. But it's hard to get a beat on it. Quite a volatile weather pattern. Yeah, that's right, and that's what we've seen in the past. Some of the probably days where we've had our worst fires actually weren't forecast, and I think that's as these fronts come through, it's really hard to predict exactly what the wind's going to do, and obviously lightning strikes ahead of it, and and power lines and whatever else. They're probably our biggest risk that we really can't control.
Ben, when you say you've got trucks on site and preventative measures already in place, have you got those through bitter experience, or have they always been entirely just a preventative measure that you hope you never have to use?
Well, look, we as a part of our harvest program, harvest lentils, and years ago they were seen as an increased risk. So as a part of our investment in machinery, we invest about 2% of our budget in fire trucks. So they're significant fire trucks. They're probably larger than many CFS assets, but that way we're protecting our property, we're protecting our community, and you're probably finding as an industry, people are investing in these ex-CFS trucks, and we all partner up with CFS on the day, and it's a whole of a community sort of event where we all just work together, which is what has to happen.
Well, hopefully none of it will be required today, Ben. Thanks for chatting with us, mate. We appreciate your insights. Ben Wondersits from the York Peninsula. John Lush is a farmer from Malala. John, good morning to you. How are you preparing for today?
Good morning. Look, we're always prepared. Having been through the primary fire, we're always on fire alert. We're like Ben. We've got a fire truck and 2 or 3 utes set up with firefighters on them, and firefighters on our chases bin and everything. And the secret to fighting a fire is to get there quick. The problem with what we might be looking at today is lightning strikes, and you can't predict where they're going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to get there quick, but if you've got the fire unit ready, you park in the yard, and you've got your staff organised, then you can get there as quick as possible, and we find that's the key. And during the primary fire, we wouldn't have had a house to live in here at my place if we hadn't had a fire truck parked at the back gate. So it's all about being ready.
Yeah, absolutely. We all know the damage that fire did, John. It was shocking, and the conditions was a bit like today, wasn't it? With the sort of late afternoon northerly, picking everything up.
Yeah, look, this day has got to develop. It's actually not too bad here where I am at the moment at all, but you don't know what the afternoon will bring. And we always get a sea breeze here in the afternoon, and that's what happened during the primary fire. It came down from the northwest. And then when the sea breeze came in, it had, a front several kilometres wide.
Yeah.
Are you a chance, John, at Malala to cop a bucket of rain over the weekend as well?
Well, WX Max are talking up to 50 mil, so yeah, we could get a big bucket full of rain. And look, I'd be pretty happy about that because of the dry year we've just had and the dry finish, our subsoil moisture's gone. We've just got nothing left.
Right.
So if we get summer rains and we can source some of that in to start off in next year, well, I'd be pretty happy about that.
Okay, well, let's hope that eventuates for you, John.
Yeah.
And none of the nasty stuff that we're fearing. John Lush from Malala, a farmer also in his own right. We're going to take a break. 5AA News is coming up. We'll speak to the CFS shortly about the preparations they have in place. We might ask too about the caller who spotted that grass fire at Lochiel too. Sounds like an early incident that is already being attended to.
Just in Nessie. You know Loch Ness?
Yeah.
The Loch Ness Monster? In Lochiel. You've seen it, haven't you?
I've not seen the Loch
Haven't
Ness
you
Monster
seen
in
it?
Lochiel. No.
Made out of car tyres.
Oh, no, I have seen it. Yeah, I have seen
Surely,
it.
surely.
I have seen it, of course.
It's one of the best tourist attractions in South Australia, I reckon.
You're a bunyip man too, aren't you?
I do love the bunyip. What does my friend Dave Sagg called on a road trip the Big Euros? I think he got a bit confused that day.
5AA News Time.
Get great value Christmas dishes for every budget at Coles. Like Coles RSPCA approved whole chicken was $5.50, now down to just $4.50 a kilo. That's great value hands down at Coles.
Don't miss the Solitaire Volkswagen Summer Spectacular on now. As SA's largest Volkswagen dealer, we have plenty of stock available now for immediate delivery. And we won't be beaten on price. Visit Solitaire Volkswagen Hawthorne and Medindi today. DL 65541.
There's hot chili cashews, smoked almonds and delicious spicy peanuts. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and they're just 3 of the tantalising products we cook hot and fresh for you in every one of our Charlesworth Nuts stores. There's salted and unsalted nuts, there's spicy, hot chili and smokehouse flavoured, plus our range of designer mixes exclusive to Charlesworth's. Just follow the seductive aroma of freshly cooked nuts to one of our 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Showers and a possible storm, a high of 36. With the 8 o'clock news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Physio Extra for Locomat robotic technology treating stroke, cerebral palsy, brain and spinal cord injuries. Visit physioextra.com.
The weather conditions we're facing over the next 48 hours have prompted a string of warnings from the CFS, SES and the Weather Bureau. Today's a triple threat when it comes to the risk of bushfire, high temperatures, strong winds and dry lightning. CFS Chief Officer Brett Lachlan says 5 districts are under a catastrophic rating.
The Eastern Eyre Peninsula, the Flinders, the York Peninsula, the Mid-North and the Riverland. An additional 5 areas across South Australia will be in total fire band with the risk of extreme. And they are the West Coast, the North East Pastorals, the Mount Lofty Ranges, the Murraylands and the Upper South East.
An aerial water tanker's on standby at Edinburgh. While the deluge expected this weekend has the SES urging homeowners to clear out gutters and downpipes and stock up on sandbags if required. However, Mark Adelack from the Weather Bureau says they've revised the rainfall totals down for Sunday.
By evening, we'll start to see that rain ease back to just a shower or two, leading to a cool but a day on Sunday. There will be some rain at times, but certainly not expecting the amount we thought a couple of days ago, just 2 to 15 millimetres for Sunday.
A learner motorbike rider's had his bike impounded after allegedly speeding on the freeway this morning. The bike was spotted again 15 minutes later on Adelaide Road. Officers headed to the registered owner's Malang address, where he tried to take off again, but the chain fell off his bike. He allegedly returned a positive breath test and has been bailed to appear in court at a later date. Santos has confirmed it's in talks with WA-based Woodside about an $80 billion merger. The state government wants to see jobs and its headquarters remain in SA, saying the deal will be examined very closely. A tropical cyclone off the coast of Queensland's intensifying. Jasper has been upgraded to a Category 4 and could reach a Category 5. If it does make landfall in the state, dozens of towns between Mackay and Cooktown will be in the firing line. Queensland Police Commissioner Katarina Carroll's warning residents to prepare.
Please just listen to the radio, newspaper, traditional media, whatever it is, but just be well informed.
The federal government's confident the sale of nuclear-powered submarines will soon be approved by US Congress. Here's Alison Petrowski.
In July, 23 Republican senators wrote to US President Joe Biden saying they did not support the proposal to sell the submarines to Australia due to concerns it would compromise their own Navy fleet. Now a deal has been struck by legislators to include the AUKUS submarine transfer in the annual Congress Defence Bill, allowing the sale of at least 3 Virginia-class submarines to Australia in the 2030s. The final negotiated bill could be made public today and is expected to pass within weeks. In a statement, a spokesperson for Defence Minister Richard Marles has welcomed the news, saying the bipartisan support for AUKUS provides us with an enormous sense of confidence.
And a tiny island in the middle of the Indian Ocean has been declared a state of emergency after a huge blast at an explosives depot. More than 100 people on Seychelles' main island have been injured. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderroll Garage Doors new Platinum and Native Series sectional doors are here. Gliderroll.com.au.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Kendall. Two of the candidates to replace Dave Warner as opening test batsman have put their hands up with decent knocks for the Prime Minister's 11. Cameron Bancroft made 53 and Marcus Harris 49 in the tour match against Pakistan in Canberra. Former Test captain Mark Taylor has told Wide World of Sports he fully expects Warner to get his 3-test farewell tour.
They would have tossed up, do they throw a Bancroft or a Renshaw or a Harris in now, give him 3 Test matches rather than give David the send-off that obviously he would have liked, and I think a lot of Australian cricketers and a lot of Australian supporters would like as well. They've made that decision, so that's going to happen for 3 Tests.
And there was one game to kick off the BBL last night with the Brisbane Heat smashing the Melbourne Stars by 103 runs. Well, the Sydney Kings have scored a nail-biting 86 to 83 point victory over the Cairns Taipans in one of the most bizarre games in NBL history. The game was delayed for 51 minutes at half-time after technical issues at the Cairns Convention Centre caused the shot clock to turn off. Both coaches eventually agreed to play the second half without it. To tennis, world number 12 Alex de Minaur leads the charge of 11 Aussie men, including wildcards in the singles draw for the Australian Open, with Isla Tomljanovic joined by 3 more wildcard compatriots to swell the local contingent on the women's side. To soccer, and Everton is on the verge of jumping out of the relegation zone in the English Premier League, leading Newcastle 2-0 deep into stoppage time, the opening goal coming via a defensive blunder in the 79th minute.
Mistake by Trippier allows McNeil in. Chance for Everton here, and McNeil for the second game running. Trippier hides his face in embarrassment.
Audio there thanks to Optus. Meantime, West Ham has equalised against Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham. Scores currently locked at 1-1 early in the second half. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Drake supermarkets have dropped prices across a range of Christmas favourites to make Christmas more affordable for you.
36, rain with possible heavy falls tomorrow down to 19. Rain at times on Sunday, also 19. And a shower or two Monday up to 30. At the moment, 29. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years, the Lynn Andrews team have made it easy for landlords to manage residential and commercial property. From single homes to multiple commercial holdings, our passion for property investment means we have a great deal of knowledge. How to do it safely and properly, matching the right tenant with the right property every time. We're here to help you. Visit lynandrews.com.au.
Austrac campers come with an external ensuite shower plus an internal ensuite bathroom with mains pressure, cold and hot water, which sure beats using the good old-fashioned wet wipes.
Austrac campers!
Now, Santos Seafood's pre-Christmas sale is already on. I've been in there myself and it's excellent. They've got unbeatable prawn prices for your festive season, and these are SA Premium King prawns. How's this extra large SA Cook Kings, $26.99 a kilo, medium large, $18.99 a kilo, and 3 kilo packs just $55.
They might find the fish just swim up to the door on Richmond Road, given the rain this weekend.
I know. Stand out the front and wait for them to arrive.
So you'll find full stock of all sizes, from the mediums up to and including the elusive, exceptional double jumbos, all cooked, packed and frozen at sea. Freshly cooked crayfish, they're from $87.80 per kilo.
Feed the family on a budget with Sam Tass's unbeatable quality seafood deal. Snap frozen kilo packs of your favourite kinds of seafood. Mix and match, you know the drill, 4 kilos for $60.
There's lots of variety too. Choices include Tassie, salmon, snapper and dory fillets too in the deal. Sam Tass Seafoods, the South Australian king prawn, fresh fish, seafood and freshly opened daily oyster specialist.
Factory direct with convenient on-site free parking. Sam Tass Seafoods at Richmond Road, Richmond, and they're open on Sundays too.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Then I saw her face.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
10 after 8. Speaking of Santos, we've got the $100 Santos seafood voucher to give away after 8:30. Feedback Fridays, not too far away. Yes. If you'd like to play, register your interest with Sam and Lucy.
Feedback Friday is going to be even more exciting in 2024.
I didn't think that was possible.
Can't say any more than that.
Okay.
But all will be revealed.
All right. Well, the regulation Feedback Friday is
I know stuff.
Oh, you do know stuff.
I know stuff.
You came to a meeting.
I did come to a meeting.
It's terrifying.
That was exciting. I know.
You had points to make.
I got pretty bored
Questions.
after about 20 minutes. Though.
I thought you were pretty good. You
it was a long
downplayed
meeting.
It was a long meeting.
Very long meeting.
No, you've gold star, David Penberthy.
Normally I take my cue from the late, great Sam Chisholm. Remember him, the Channel 9 executive? It was his great saying, losers have meetings, winners have lunch.
Yeah. Well, we had a meeting.
We had food at it, though.
We did have, yeah, that's right.
Well, it was at Jarmus.
We had a brunch.
We had croque monsieur. Oh, Lisa's going to just come in and punch me in the head if I keep saying that.
We're going to check in with the CFS.
Every day next week, Lisa, we're going to have a French phrase for you.
About a day today that has been described as one of the most significant fire risk days in South Australia in recent years. So they're coming on the program in the next 15, 20 minutes, in and around making preparations and doing their morning briefings. Feedback Friday, as we mentioned. But first, it's time for Breaking at 8.
So this is a bit of a movable feast, folks, because we've been compiling a list of everything that is being cancelled, and I tell you what, Will, I don't fancy your chances of sitting out in the middle of the parklands doing the Christmas carols, because on health and safety grounds, and particularly for council events, out of an abundance of caution based on the weather forecast for the next 2 days, a whole bunch of things have been cancelled. So this is the list so far. The Clare Christmas pageant tonight, cancelled. Gawler Community Christmas carols, cancelled. Mitcham carols at Kingswood. The Dockside Festival at the Port. Carols in Hazelwood Park, that was meant to be going on tonight. That's been cancelled. The Harndorf Markets have been cancelled. St Clair carols, cancelled. Come and try stand-up paddleboarding at Port Noarlunga. That's been cancelled. The Dawn Vigil for Victims of Gender-Based Violence on Sunday. That was going to be going ahead at the Port Noarlunga Jetty. That's been cancelled. The Tail and Bend Christmas Parade, scheduled for tomorrow. That's been cancelled. The SA 500cc Solo Championships at Gilman. That's been postponed until next week. The Murray Bridge Sprint meeting has been cancelled. Thanks to Nat Cook for sharing the unfortunate news that the South Adelaide Panthers / Sammy D Foundation carols, they've been cancelled. And Rob Breyer, the Mayor of Norwood, he says that the Norwood Pool movie night, that's been postponed until January 27. So that is the list so far.
We've got to just, even as you were talking then, David, someone else has just contacted us and saying the vegan picnic scheduled for the Rundle Park on Sunday has been moved to Tonsley, so it's inside.
Oh. Well, there you go. If you want to go to the vegan picnic, now you know where it is.
Tyson says all baseball games tonight have been cancelled. Can't play with a metal bat.
No, well, that's true. Exactly. So that's the list so far, folks. As we get more information, we'll share it with you. And indeed, if you are holding any events yourself, if you're from a council and you've got anything you want to share with the people of South Australia through our program, give us a call, 8223 0000.
I knew it was a bad sign when they said to me, "Oh, we've got your suit ready for Saturday night," and I said, "Tux," and they said, "No, wet."
Yeah, it's not a Gibson from Peter Shearer, it's a Rip Curl from On and In the Water.
Can you do carols wearing a snorkel? I'm not sure.
You're going to be pretty damp, I think, Will. You and Rosanna.
Bit wet. 14 after.
How are you going to do it? It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
So it's meant to be tonight and tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow
night's the big night.
Right.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Kevin and Mooter is called into the program. Kevin, good morning.
Yeah, good day, fellas. How you going?
Good, thanks, Kevin.
Yeah, weather-wise, we've had everything here from about 6 o'clock. Started with a little bit of a shower and a rumble of thunder, and then we've had lightning, heavy rain, no rain. Now it's gone dead calm, and...
So you're in Moonta, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're far from the beach?
Oh...
How far's Moonta from the beach?
500 metres to walk to the beach and 5 minutes to the boat ramp.
Oh, that sounds ideal.
Sounds like you've done that trick a few times.
You won't be
before,
getting out today by the sounds of things, though, mate.
No, it's tempting, but the way the forecast is, it could come up pretty rough fairly quickly.
Absolutely.
What are you catching out there off Moonta at the moment?
Well, I haven't been catching much because I haven't been all that healthy, but
okay.
When I do start again, it'll be mainly garfish and crabs, I think.
Beautiful. Well, Kevin, we wish you good health so you can get back out there and get some fresh fish into you. Thank you, Kevin. With the meat tray this morning is thanks to Liam, Joanna and the team, my local butcher, Chanella's 62 Prospect Road at Prospect, inspired by the story of the family in the UK that found an unexploded artillery shell that they used to clean gardening implements by smashing them against it, only to find that there was unexploded ordnance inside still, and it needed to be disposed of by a bomb squad. We're asking you, what's the most interesting thing you've found in your garden? A lot of people have found things that were stolen, as what we discovered in the first hour on the Dutton's text line. Sam in Theberton, what have you found?
Oh, well, Jordan, yeah, in the late 70s, Dad used to do a lot of work in the garden, in an ethnic garden. He would find bones, old bottles, and old pennies. Now, we were only children, so we didn't really understand the value of it. But in that handful of pennies was a 1930 penny. You look it up today, it's worth $15,000 to $20,000. I know where it is. It ended up in the bin at the old Theberton dump.
Oh, no,
and
Sam.
And you know where it is probably, Dave? It's probably under one of those trees that got to get cut down.
To make way for the crows.
That's where it is.
Yeah.
So those greenies head down there because that's probably where it is.
Oh, geez.
Good stuff.
It's amazing.
Thank you, Sam. Let's go to Mount Barker. Tony, good morning.
G'day, boys. How are you? I'll try to keep it as quick as I can. My father... On 68, my father was in the Second World War. He spent most of the time in Darwin. When I was 16, my mother died, so we had to sell the house in Kingswood that I grew up in. And 45 years later, a niece knew the people who were living there, and the woman contacted her on Anzac Day 2021. Her chooks had scratched up one of Dad's dog tags in the backyard, and unbeknown to me, my eldest brother, who died in April at 76, he had the other dog tag. So some 60 years later, the two dog tags were reunited thanks to the chooks in the backyard.
What a great story.
On Anzac Day 2021.
That is amazing, Tony. It's almost like the chooks had a premonition.
Absolutely. Yeah. What are the chances, they say?
That's cool. Good story. Thanks,
Great call.
mate.
Good contender for the meat tray. 62 Prospect Road, Prospect was where you find the great people at Chanella's. If you haven't got a platter for ahead of Christmas Day from them, do yourself a favour. You'll thank me on the day.
You'll save yourself so much time.
Oh, and it's impressive.
The other thing too, the markup, I don't think it's very significant for what you get.
No.
Like you could buy all of that stuff yourself and then go, all right, I'm going to sit here spending 7 hours trying to roll it up. Won't look anywhere near as good as it does the way the Chanella's people do it. Not only are you wasting time, you're wasting money because for the minimal amount you'd save, it's not worth it because it's very, very competitively priced there at Chanella's.
I like this. It's a listener-provided fuel watch today. Download the free RA app to find the cheapest fuel in an instant. Barry from Aldinga has contacted us to alert us to a petrol special. If you're in the southern suburbs, you can get unleaded at 99 cents a litre in two servos, the X-Convenience at Aldinga and the X-Convenience in Shido Park. Both servos running the special, and they'll keep that price until at least mid-afternoon. So some 99 cents. It's a significant saving.
That'll be a traffic story more than anything, I think.
Certainly will be. Let's check traffic, and then when we come back, we'll be chatting with the CFS about their preparations for the day ahead.
Thanks, Will. The odd passing shower this morning. Beware of those. Glyn got a collision Payman Road near Shirley Avenue. Flinders Park, traffic lights out there. Holbrooks Road near Hartley Road. Slow for works at Seaford. Main South Road near Robinson Road. And lane out of action today at Torrensville. South Road near Ashman Parade. You find early morning cameras, Brooker Terrace, Richmond, and Cliff Streets at Glengarry. McCafe, it's the place where rich iced lattes and cool iced mochas go to chill out. Drive through for a barista-made ice-cold coffee at McCafe today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
If you like Nick Kyrgios, sadly, we just found out today he hasn't nominated or registered for the 2024 Aussie Open. That's in mid-January. That doesn't mean he might not get better and do it, but first nominations are out and he has missed it. He's 28. He's 29 in April.
Rowie and Timmy G.
Let's hope he can get it together, because I'd hate to see that go down as a complete waste of talent. It's not at this stage, but it might be.
4 p.m. weekdays on 5AA.
This is your captain speaking. I have a confession to make. I never wanted to be a pilot. I mean, I'm okay, average at best. I wanted to be a concreter with Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Now there's something to be proud of. Just look out your window with those Adelaide Exposed Concrete driveways and paths. Just stunning. Now, where's this landing button? Wrong one.
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round.
There's naughty or nice, stunning and stylish, or tasty and tasteful. Merry Christmas, folks. I'm Brett Charlesworth, and they're just 3 of the eye-popping Christmas gifts we make for you at Charlesworth Nuts. They're all overflowing with our amazing nuts and chocolates, and made with great pride by our talented South Aussie team. With 100 different gift boxes, packs and hampers, there is literally something for everyone. You simply can't go wrong. 11 family-owned stores or shop online. Why Charlesworth? Because fresh nuts taste better.
Aussie Christmas is all about the great outdoors, barbecues, backyard, cricket and days by the pool. So why not give the gift of great outdoor furniture and home decor from Rosino Outdoor Furniture?
I was having a bit of a long and loving look at their website the other night. They sell great stuff for Rosino, and they don't sell boring stuff. They offer the designer look without the price tag. It means you don't have to spend the earth to get the good gear.
Whether it's outdoor lounges, extra dining chairs for Christmas Day, or ceramic pots starting at just $8. They've got egg chairs, outdoor cushions, rugs, vases, artwork. Perfect and unique Christmas gifts to make any space comfortable and stylish. And remember this, with Rosino Outdoor Furniture, you're getting a designer look and exceptional quality that's made to last.
So do what I was doing. Jump online to find some fantastic deals just in time for Christmas and razz up your Christmas shopping with Rosino Outdoor Furniture. Visit rosinofurniture.com.au or call into their showroom and see it on display at Ashburn Parade, Torrensville.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes after 8, Feedback Friday coming up after 8:30. If you want to play, you can get calling now on 8223 Chat with Lucy or Sam and register your interest. Remember, 5 questions, no wrong answers, and you're playing for a whole bucket load of magnificent Samtas seafood. Let's talk with the CFS about the preparations being made for a day that's been described as one of the most problematic bushfire conditions we've seen in a number of years. Cam Devey is the Acting Deputy Chief of the CFS. Cam, good morning to you. Have you seen anything weather-wise this morning or in your conversations with the Bureau that allay any of your concerns about the day ahead, or is it as concerning as it was when you spoke to the media yesterday?
Yeah, look, it's just as concerning as it was yesterday. You heard Chief Officer Lachlan talk about how it's the most significant fire weather that we've seen in several years. And it's probably an opportune time to talk about 3 fires that have started. We were really concerned about the dry lightning bans across the state, and we now know that there are 2 fires that are just in their infancy, and we'll provide more information. They are in Mount Remarkable and Lochiel, and their cause is dry lightning at this stage, and we'll provide more information. But it's a really good opportunity for people who do live in those areas to start tuning into the CFS messaging so that they can be aware of what's going on in their area. And also, just with a cause yet to be established, we know of a fire that's just started in Hamley Bridge as well. So we're responding as per our plans, we've got it in hand at this stage, but please watch this space as we know fire behaviour can change at a moment's notice.
Yeah, well, we had a call, Cam, from one of our listeners who was in Lockhill saying that they could see the grass fire from the road. So I guess obviously with the volatility of the weather and the fact that we're already getting lightning. Lightning's probably the biggest concern, that and the fact that the winds are going to pick up later.
Oh, absolutely. Look, we can't control the weather. What we can do is put really good measures in place and help the people to make really sensible decisions about their activities that they're undertaking today. But the weather is concerning, and as I said to you, we've already got two that we know are caused from the lightning at the moment, and we'll continue to provide that messaging. Just really important to reiterate too that we do have catastrophic conditions forecast for the Eastern Eyre Peninsula, the Flinders Ranges, the Mid-North, York Peninsula and the Riverland today. We do have extreme weather conditions in the Northeast Pastoral, the West Coast, Mount Lofty Ranges, Murraylands and Upper South East. So really challenging conditions all round. We know that there is discussions around rain that's coming tomorrow, but these kind of conditions take us back to those moments. If we, take a moment to reflect on pinery conditions, that fire ran really fast and was devastating in about 5 hours before the CFS and firefighters could actually gain a little bit of an upper hand on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we all remember that very well. Hopefully nothing like that today. Good on you, Cam. Cam Deavy, the Acting Deputy Chief of the CFS.
All right, let's head to SA Power Networks now. Paul Roberts joins us. Paul, the Times' coverage of the weather events over the next 3 days include some comments from you regarding the fact that we could see some power outages. Is that a byproduct, are you expecting, of extreme weather, or is that as a preventative measure, just so as not to add to risks for bushfires?
Well, it's potentially a bit of both, but mainly the weather. And look, we've basically got a trifecta of the bushfire risk, and then we've got these gale force winds and the lightning strikes that are also being forecast. And there's kind of two things there for us. We set up the network differently to deal with bushfire conditions to minimise the risk of a fire start against what we do in storms. So we're going to have this juggling act of, as the front comes across, we're still waiting for the bushfire conditions to abate. So that's likely to cause some additional outages in those regional areas because we're caught between the two weather systems. But it's not looking good.
No, it doesn't sound like it. Do you have any specific areas that are of particular concern, Paul?
Well, probably those areas that have got the catastrophic fire risk advice, they're all more vulnerable in this situation.
Yeah,
but it's really basically that band across the middle of the state. We'll be doing everything we can to, be able to switch back, but we can't do that too early. We're going to have to wait till fire conditions abate before we can put the network into the storm response, where it'll actually have several cracks at restoring power when there's a fault. Because often the fault falls away in those circumstances and we can restore power automatically. But in a bushfire situation, if there's a fault, the network does not try to reconnect supply because that could create a spark and start a fire.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, you're sort of between a rock and a hard place then, but obviously...
Yeah, absolutely.
Better to go without power than to, set fire to a vast tract of land. So I think everyone would get that.
We can't guarantee that we won't cause a fire. We've got an overhead network sitting in these sort of conditions. It's known across the world that that's a potential fire start risk. But we'll do everything we can to try and minimise that risk, and this is how we do it in these kind of circumstances.
Well, good luck, Paul. Hopefully it's a smooth day, fingers crossed, and good luck to everyone there. Paul Roberts from SA Power Networks.
Peter contacted us just whilst we were chatting with Paul with regard to an outage at Yankalilla. It's wider than that. Down near Victor Harbour Way, west of Victor Harbour, but you're talking about places Inman Valley, Myponga, Normanville, a host of premises affected. In fact, some 678 all up at the moment. The cause is to be investigated, so not quite sure why that is yet. 678 affected. The estimated restoration time is 1 p.m. But given the scant amount of information about that incident at the moment, Peter, I'd suggest it could well be better than that, but given we don't know what's going to happen over the next few hours...
I wonder if that's businesses too.
Would be businesses as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow, there are a lot of businesses down there.
Completely, yeah. 5AA News is coming up. How are we looking for Feedback Friday? Do we need one more? We need one more. Okay, we've got one more spot available for Feedback Friday. Get calling right now. Last one of the year. $100 worth of Samtas seafood coming your way just for participating, if you're one of the three people that participates in Feedback Friday. One spot 5 questions, no wrong answers. Get calling right now. 8223 0000. Back shortly.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now, I know a great team and I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. I've known them for a long time. David Shipway is one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. BL Shipway, they've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. And if you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
This festive season, find thoughtful gifts for everyone on your list at Maya and receive a bonus $10 gift card for every $100 spent on Maya gift cards. Hurry, offer ends Sunday. Exclusions and conditions apply.
Maya, my store.
Now, nothing beats the SA farmers market for fresh value-packed produce. The market reopened in March this year after relocating from the drive into its new home at the produce markets just up the road.
The SA Farmers Market is open every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. with fresh produce including seafood, butcher, baker, eggs, olives, honey, wine, plus bric-a-brac, along with a lot of home-based businesses, crafts, home-baked goods, sauces and relishes. There is so much on offer. Most vendors take cash and there is an ATM on site.
Entry to the SA Farmers Market is $1.50 per person. That's cheap. And kids under 14 doesn't get any cheaper than this. They're free. There's loads of parking, all undercover. Enter from Merchant Crescent, Paraka. Plus there's 2 other pedestrian entry points from Diagonal Road and Burma Road.
The market will also be open Christmas Eve, Sunday, December 24th and New Year's Eve, Sunday, December 31st. Experience the SA Farmers Market, South Australia's largest weekly market, every Sunday, 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more info, check out the SA Farmers Market Facebook page.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Showers and a possible storm, a high of 36. With the 8:30 news, I'm Kendall Brettig.
Try Locomat robotic gait training technology for neurological issues at Physio Extra. Visit physioextra.com.
The weather conditions over the next 48 hours have the CFS and SES on red alert. Mel Usher has details.
Today's forecast, a mix of high temperatures, strong wind gusts and dry lightning, is a worst-case scenario when it comes to the risk of bushfires. Temperatures in regional parts of the state could hit the mid-40s alongside winds of up to 100 k's an hour. We're looking at catastrophic fire danger ratings for the mid-north, Flinders, Riverland, York Peninsula and Eastern Eyre Peninsula, and extreme ratings in the Mount Lofty Ranges, Northeast Pastoral, West Coast, Upper Southeast and Murraylands. Dozens of regional public schools and preschools will be closed. Liz Connell from the SES has this advice.
Be well prepared. It's certainly a unique set of conditions that we are experiencing.
A 737 aerial water tanker is on standby at Edinburgh. The heat will break in the afternoon and then the weather roller coaster will kick in again, with heavy falls arriving tomorrow morning. Some parts of the state could cop up to 120 mils of rain across the weekend.
A learner motorbike rider is set to face court after a police chase overnight. Police say the rider evaded them twice after first being spotted speeding on the freeway just after 3 a.m. They tried to pull him over on Adelaide Road, but Senior Constable Peter Squire says he wouldn't stop.
The rider again spotted patrols and took off at speed. Now a second patrol attended the registered owner's Malang address, and as the rider was heading up his driveway, he saw the officers at his front door and he attempted to take off again, but the bike suffered a mechanical failure, and that is code for the chain came off.
The rider was breath tested and blew over. The 25-year-old man's motorbike was also defected and impounded for 28 days. BHP's calling Labor's industrial reforms as an act of economic vandalism. The reforms intended to regulate work patterns and criminalise wage theft, but the company insists the new laws will create huge complexities for business. ALP President Wayne Swan says their response has been disgraceful.
But they're continuing to want to dud their workers and in fact allow dodgy labour hire practices. It's simply not good enough. It's not only un-Australian, it is completely outrageous behaviour.
The World Gold Council forecasts a stable market for gold in the year ahead. It steadily increased throughout 2023, with the commodity up 14% year to date. Celebrity croc wrangler Matt Wright will face trial in the Northern Territory Supreme Court. The charge follows a helicopter crash which killed his TV co-star Chris Wilson last year. He's facing a string of charges, including destroying evidence and perverting the course of justice. A 67-year-old college professor has been identified as the man responsible for shooting dead 3 people at the University of Nevada in Las Vegas. Authorities have not yet released the names of the victims, but insist none were students. Former NYPD hostage negotiator Michael Alcaraz says they're now uncovering online content which may be related to the man's intentions.
Apparently he has an online presence and he believes he solved the Zodiac killer ciphers. Other than that, right now we don't really know much about him.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Gliderall Garage Doors, adding strength, safety and style to South Australian homes for over 40 years. Gliderall.com.au.
Here's Tom Rand.
Thank you, Kendall. A big win for the Brisbane Heat to kick off the BBL season, beating the Melbourne Stars by 103 runs at the Gabba. Colin Munro dominating with the bat, scoring 99 not out. Meantime, the Prime Minister's 11 trail Pakistan by 242 runs in their tour match with 8 wickets remaining. The Tourists declared it 9 for 391 in their first innings. Well, the Adelaide 36ers are back in action for their first game under interim coach Scott Ninnis against Cairns tomorrow night at home. Ninnis has taken over the head coaching role for the remainder of the season after head coach CJ Bruton was let go. 36ers CEO Nick Barbato telling Rowie and Timmy G they'll need the fans in full voice as they search for a much-needed win.
Our fans have been phenomenal, right? So we need to give them that ability to get into the crowd and then really, dominate.
And there was one game on last night, the Sydney Kings beating the Cairns Taipans 86-83. The match wasn't without controversy as the shot clock broke down, forcing a delay of almost an hour at half-time. Let's go to soccer and disaster for Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham. They've had 75% possession and countless chances, but now find themselves 2-1 down against West Ham in stoppage time. The Hammers putting themselves in front in the 74th minute.
Corio in front of Bowen, the post, Ward-Prowse puts West Ham in front!
Extraordinary audio thanks to Optus, and it's being reported Masters champion Jon Rahm could jump ship to Live Golf by the end of this week. The Spaniard has reportedly been offered a sign-on fee of $750 million, more than the entire PGA Tour prize pool. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Now to the traffic.
Drake supermarkets have dropped prices across a range of Christmas favourites to make Christmas more affordable for you.
G'day there, the odd passing shower this morning. Beware of those on the drive-in. Glen, you'll find residual delays from earlier collision on Paynham Road near Shirley Avenue. Hindmarsh, traffic lights damaged on South Road near Grange Road. Slow for works at Chandler's Hill, Main Road near Chandler's Hill Road. And we're busy at the moment at Torrensville with a lane closed South Road near Ashwin Parade. You'll find a camera at Caulfield Avenue at Cumberland Park. The BMW demo event is now on with offers across the BMW demonstrator range. It's time to seize the moment. Ends December 31st. Speak to a BMW dealer today. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
When you've earned your dream bathroom, speak to Bathrooms by Design, Clovelly Park and Lonsdale.
A shower or two and a possible storm heading for 36 today. Rain with possible heavy falls tomorrow down to 19. Rain at times on Sunday, also 19. Then a shower or two for Monday, 30. At the moment, 29. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. Here's one from Jasmine, the operations manager at Buy Urban and the driving force behind the success of all renovation projects. Jasmine swears to ensure all the trades arrive on time, every time, to ensure a seamless transition to your stunning Buy Urban bathroom. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Mawson Lakes Mazda's 2023 Play Clearance Sale is on now. Discover amazing deals across the entire range, including free on-road costs on all cars. That's right, free on-road costs across the entire Mazda range. Hurry in to find your perfect model and colour. The sooner you get to the showroom, the better your chance of scoring your dream car. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city, Salisbury Highway.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
21 minutes to 9. We have a meat tray to give away. We'll do that before 9 o'clock, thanks to the great people at Chanella's. Right now, though, it's time for your feedback, and we will give away $100 worth of magnificent Santos seafood.
Feedback. Friday today, so have your say feedback.
3 contestants on the line. A lot of fish on the line. Oh, yeah. 5 questions and no wrong answers. You know the drill. Ben is first cab off the rank. Good morning to you, Ben.
Good morning, Will and Pendo. Ben Jordan here as well.
Oh, stats man! Hey!
Thanks for all one last stat for the year as well, if you like.
Yeah. Fire through. Right?
So the last big summer storm we had, December 28, 2016, the city got 62 mils that day, and it ripped the roof off the old H.Y. Sparks stand at the Bay Oval when they had to rip the whole stand down. So
that was. I thought that was an insurance job originally.
I think it was when your mob came down and probably beat us one day, Penrith.
Oh, that hasn't happened down there for a while, sadly. Even that day when we were up by 10 goals at three-quarter time and you won by 3 goals. Remember that?
I do.
Round 1 about 10 years ago. Unbelievable.
Exactly. Yeah, 2011, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
No, you don't try and sneak one by the stats man, David.
I was leading with my chin there, wasn't I?
Right, playing a home game for Ben. All right, Ben, let's rip into Feedback Friday. Our hospital rampings just had our worst month ever. Have you ever been ramped before?
No, I haven't, thankfully. Actually, and I came on a couple of months ago and you asked me a similar question. I said, it was April 1993 that I was last in hospital, so it's 30 years ago. So there you go.
It's a good run, a good clean run of health.
Yeah, well played, man.
Absolutely.
Maree's maximum temperature hit 54 degrees on Wednesday. Have you ever been to Maree?
No, I haven't.
What's the furthest north you've been?
Port Augusta, I reckon. Went up there for an audit many years ago, so I had to drive up about 11 o'clock at night one night to get there first thing the next day. So I reckon that's the furthest north I've been.
Did you go to the Arid Land Botanic Gardens when you were there, Ben?
No, I think I was staying at the Standpipe, and that was outside between there and auditing the power company, NRG.
Okay.
So I didn't have too much time to check anything else out.
Everything, I presume, was in order, Ben?
Yeah, it was, yes,
okay,
Ben.
Did you know, Ben, given, you're a man that knows a lot about town, there was a detention centre located in North Adelaide?
No, that was news to me, I must say, yeah. But
it's a better class of detention centre, though.
Yeah, they kept the noise down.
Decorated in the Hampton style.
Yeah, well,
a lot of throw rugs.
Hey, Ben, how long do you think it would take you to climb 7 flights of stairs?
Not as long as it took me.
Yeah, that's probably the right answer, isn't it? I can just get Pembo out by 1 extra flight, I reckon.
Yeah,
so,
you've probably taken better care of yourself over the years, mate.
I've probably got a few less years on me as well. I think I'm 1978, so you've got a decade in front of me, so that's a good excuse.
That's right.
You're very kind, Ben. Hey, Lucy watched Bad Santa this week as part of the movie bowl. Do you have a favourite Christmas movie?
Die Hard has to be. I remember Pendo, you said that ho ho ho, I now have a machine gun that's how you wrap your presents Christmas Eve. So,
that's right. Hey Ben, mate, thank you for contributing to the program over the course of the year as well. We always like your input. You bring a bit of science to the silliness.
All good. Merry Christmas. Have a great break, Will.
Good man, Ben.
Good on you, Ben.
All right, let's go to Adam. Adam, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys.
The Prime Minister's copped plenty of backlash for not fronting up to the media this week. Do you think Albo will lose the next election?
Look, mate, to be honest, I think sometimes it's better the devil you know, but I feel like everyone wants a bit of change at the moment, so flip of the coin for me.
Yeah, well, it was 50-50 last news poll, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The FIVEAA Christmas party's on tonight. Have you had your Christmas party yet?
Yeah, ours was last weekend, mate, and I actually had to miss it, so...
Oh, no.
If there's an invite going, I'm sure to run Christmas party.
Make up for it. Why not?
Yeah.
Hey, we spoke to Tom Jones earlier this week about his upcoming tour. Have you ever seen Tom Jones live?
No, mate, no. A little bit before my time, I think.
What's the last live?
You know, when this is a true story. When we interviewed Sir Tom the other day, his publicist said you can ask him any question you want. He's very laid back. You don't even need to call him Sir Tom. He's happy to call him Tom, but do not, under any circumstances, ask him about having women's underpants thrown at him because he'll just hang up on you. Oh, fair enough.
What? Well, maybe he's reached that modder stage finally where, he just doesn't want to go into it anymore.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
knows?
We just become a bit passé. So, there's some more jocks, whatever.
There's some undies, some briefs.
Sorry, guys, I don't know if you can hear all the rain in the background, but I've just pulled up in Tanunda for work, and the rain's just starting to come down here as well.
Is that rain? Wow, mate.
You got that, yeah.
Bonus points on Feedback Friday for providing a live weather report, Adam, so that'll stand you in some good stead when the judging gets done. How many flights of stairs is too many for you to climb, Adam? Where do you draw the line where you say, I'm not going up the stairs? Is it 7?
Mate, to be honest, 7, if there's any other option, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I mean, they invented elevators for a reason, I say. Why put those people out of work?
Exactly right. They invented them. They just don't maintain them.
Hall Soft Drinks is now back on our supermarket shelves. Do you have a favourite or go-to soft drink, Adam?
Yes. Sarsaparilla. Hit me up with any sarsaparilla, and Halls do the best, so I'm very excited. Sarsaparilla is often overlooked. The best soft drink there is. Get on board.
I agree. Sarsaparilla is excellent.
That was nice and passionate, Adam. Thank you.
Bickfords make a good SARS as well.
I enjoyed that. All right, Dave and Blake for you, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. How are we?
Dave.
Hey, Dave. It's Dave again. How are you, mate?
I'm good.
Dave,
I'm good.
this is a G-rated segment.
I'm trying very hard. You're making me nervous.
All right, don't stress. Don't stress. Taylor Swift got announced as the Time Person of the Year. Do you think she deserved it?
Yeah, or at least I can understand the songs.
Yeah, she's good. That's I reckon.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
She's passed. Yep.
The Tonsley Hotel shutting up shop this weekend. Did you ever go to McMahon's Disco?
No, mate, no. No, the best thing I used to go was the Kingston Cabaret.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that.
Did you?
Every year they used to have the cabaret. When I was younger, this is back in the 80s.
Yeah, right.
Used to always venture into the cabarets at Kingston, down the southeast.
Tear it up.
Oh, excellent.
Dave,
get ridden off and drive back home.
Well, look out. King Charles and the Queen are going to be visiting Australia next year. If they came to Adelaide, would you line the streets to see them, Dave?
Oh, pass. Is that diplomatic?
Yeah,
that's
very
diplomatic.
Very diplomatic. We got massive amount of rain in the city coming this weekend. How are your gutters looking, Dave? Are they clean?
I've just had new gutters put on the house and got wider ones, so hopefully I'll be right because that last big heap of rain we got, we had flooding.
Dave, well, that should be good. That timing is impeccable then, Dave. Good stuff.
Would you need Voltaren gel after climbing 7 flights of stairs, Dave?
I need it now because I've been driving trucks for 35 years. I'm 63, and I'm having trouble getting up the 3 steps around the fuel tank of the truck.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah. That's a lifetime of work you've put the body through, though, so that's understandable.
Takes its toll. Good on you, Dave. You got through the whole segment without dropping an F-bomb, mate. Well done.
We'd give you a mug, but we've already done that.
I did. We love Dave. For anyone who missed it the other morning, Dave's the guy we had to kick him off the program. He made some very florid and uncharitable remarks about the leader of our nation, which was terrifically funny. So we dumped him.
Who do we like for the $100 Santos seafood voucher?
Look, I reckon. I think on debut, I reckon we'll give it to Adam.
Yeah, Adam was. Yeah. I like that.
Big thanks to Dave.
Weather report as well was a good,
and
nice
big
touch.
Thanks as always to Ben as well. But yeah, we'll give him. He gets the bonus point for the live weather report there from the main street of Tanunda, Waller's country.
Exactly right. We're getting live weather reports through right now from the western suburbs. Gabrielle says rumbles of thunder in Hendon. Thunder in Westlakes with no rain as yet, which is, I guess, the forecast is dry thunderstorms today. So sounds like they are imminent, if not already upon us in parts of the city. Let's check traffic. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Thanks, Will. The odd passing shower this morning. Be aware that on the drive in. St Mary's, burst water main, South Road near Dawes Road, and Hindmarsh traffic lights damaged on South Road near Grange Road. Got a lane out of action at Torrensville, South Road near Ashwin Parade, and cameras Port Road, Croydon, and Quick Road at Mitchell Park. KFC's 6 for $6.95 original tenders are here. Want some? Order online now. Not everywhere and not forever. Only on kfc.com.au and KFC app. Pick up only. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
On 5AA mornings today, the death of an 85-year-old motorcyclist who hit a kangaroo in the Murray Mallee. Apparently, kangaroo-related crashes are up 30%. Is it time for a cull? And the NDIS Minister Bill Shorten on the federal government promising a reboot of the National Disability Insurance Scheme. Those stories, your calls, will also remember back to Christmases of past with Bob Byrne. I'm Matthew Pantelis. Look forward to your company from 9.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. The Kluger 7-seat SUV with a brand new sophisticated design and powerful on-road stance. Your choice of an economical and powerful all-wheel drive hybrid engine or improved 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo engine. Plus Toyota's latest safety technology designed to support safe driving. This 7-seater has flexible cargo space thanks to the folding second and third rows. Take a test drive of the new Kluger today at Jarvis Toyota, South Road, Clovelly Park. Proudly celebrating 21 years of great deals.
From the red sands of the Simpson Desert to the golden sands of Fraser, from the rugged terrain of the Kimberley to the forests of the Victorian High Country, you'll go everywhere in your Austrac camper.
Austrac Campus!
If you're constipated and struggling to poo, here's some great news. Introducing Caruso's Constipation Ease. Caruso's Constipation Ease is a new herbal and fibre combination containing cascara, yellow dock, fennel and green banana powder. These help to relieve constipation by making it easier for you to poo. So if you're struggling to poo and would like to poo more, why not try Caruso's Constipation Ease? Caruso's Constipation Ease is available from leading pharmacies and health stores. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Now, this is not a box. There is not a box under the tree large enough to contain the St John Christmas Home Lottery's grand prize. And this week is your absolute final chance to buy tickets and be in the running.
It'd be a big box. It's their biggest ever prize, and it comes with a choice. The lucky winner will choose between a $5.2 million waterfront home package or a $4.5 million in cash.
It doesn't matter who you are or which you choose, that prize will make for a very, very Merry Christmas.
And again, this is your absolute last chance to be in the draw. The deadline, midnight on Sunday, so take your shot at becoming South Australia's next multi-millionaire.
Buy your tickets before midnight Sunday at stjohnlottery.com.au, licence number M14453.
Get great value Christmas dishes for every budget at Coles. Like Coles RSPCA approved whole chicken was $5.50, now down to just $4.50 a kilo. That's great value hands down at Coles.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. This is 5AA Breakfast.
8 to 9, weather reports continue to come in on the Duttons text line. Call in to Duttons Mount Barker or Murray Bridge, purchase a new or used vehicle and go in the draw to win $3,000. Luke says loud thunder in Queenstown. Raining in Melrose Park, says another text. And Big Rob says, morning beautiful people, thunder and lightning but no rain yet at Largs. Wind is coming up now, looking at the radar, will rain in the next 20 minutes here. Buckle in for the ride. Thank you for those texts. Thank you to you, Rob, and thanks to everyone too who contributed to our Weather Watch on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. We have time for a couple more Meat Tray Friday entries.
We do.
Things you found in your garden to win the Chanella's Meat Tray, 62 Prospect Road at Prospect. Kate and Glengarry, good morning.
Oh, good morning, guys. This wasn't my garden, but you know in the back of the mail they'll have photos of different things and they'll explain the story. Well, this is going back probably a couple of years ago now, but someone must have lost an engagement ring in the garden. And when someone dug up their carrot, a carrot had grown through the engagement ring.
Oh, are you joking?
Wow.
No, I've still got a photo of it. The pointy end of the carrot, had grown through the engagement ring.
That's hilarious.
That's extraordinary.
That would have looked amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing, isn't it? So,
was it still called Bill King? It was the Bill King column for a long time.
Well, it was Bill King. I don't know what it's called now, but yeah.
I don't think it is called that anymore. Should know.
There, but that was in there, so there you go.
Good on
Excellent.
You, great call. Let's go to Queenstown, where Daniel's on the line. Are you hearing some thunder there in Queenstown, Daniel?
I'm actually at work at RAF Edinburgh, and it's just started bucketing down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so RAF, it's bucketing down in the north.
Yeah, could be a quiet day there work-wise today.
Hopefully it's Friday, so 12 o'clock finish.
Nice. That's the spirit. How good's Australia?
What I called about the
meat tray
stuff is found in the backyard.
Yeah.
It wasn't me. It was one of my neighbours. One of the oldest houses in Queenstown, and they were renovating, so they were putting a pool in the backyard. They started excavating, and they found human remains.
Oh, you're joking!
And it ended up being, after police coming in and doing an investigation, ended up that their house back in the early 1900s was an illegal abortion clinic.
Oh my God! Oh, it's like a Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's extraordinary.
Mm.
Well, actually, when good call, mate. Thank you.
Great call.
When we had our pool put in, the guys who were digging the hole, they said they'd find a lot of weird stuff. They found an entire car once. They said they would started digging and they just kept hitting this metal thing, and it was like an HD that had just been buried in someone's yard.
It is amazing when you see some of the places in Europe with old cities and buildings that get excavated, how low they are and what we consider underground now. But just stuff over years and centuries just keeps getting piled on top and on top.
I wonder if there's people in Queenstown stayed in that house.
You wouldn't put it on the real estate brochure, would you?
Jeez.
Yikes. 5 to 9, we've got a meat tray to give away. Thanks to Liam, Joanna and the team. My local butcher, Chanel's. We should say thanks to Chanel's for being part of Meat Tray Friday, and indeed in the many ways they support the program over the course of the year. They do a wonderful job.
Not to forget the platter that they very kindly sent in a couple of weeks ago.
Exactly right.
I made the best sandwich with that. I've had that crusty ciabatta bread.
Oh my God.
But I put the ciabatta, I put provolone cheese in it, but then I put a mix of the prosciutto, the mortadella, and the salami, all three meats with the provolone in that ciabatta roll. Triple meat.
62 Prospect Road at Prospect. You can do whatever the hell you want with their platters. They are a must for Christmas Day too.
Now, Will, I'm going to miss you, mate.
Yes.
You're disappearing.
This is it.
And we're disappearing at different times. So next week, folks, Lucy and I are going to have a lot of fun. Lucy will be in charge, and I'll be sitting here rabbiting on as I normally do. So Lucy will be running the show, playing the role of you, Will. And you and your growing family, you'll be off having a bit of a well-earned break.
We'll be having a holiday up to Christmas, getting to spend Christmas at home though with the family, which will be nice. But we'll be back in the early part of middle part of January.
So it's not
next year.
Rose. This is her second Christmas.
This is her second Christmas, but
it'll be the first one she's aware that something's going on.
This was yesterday. It was a nice, actually, indicator of what it's going to be like. She got a belated birthday gift.
Yeah, right.
That arrived yesterday, and it was the first time we've ever seen her go berserk, ripping apart paper.
Yeah.
She just went, hang on, I'm allowed to do this?
Yeah.
Amazing. So we thought, well, Christmas Day is going to be a hell of a lot of fun this year, and she's desperate to pull down every Christmas tree and ornament she sees at the moment. So
that's cool.
She's going to have a great day. It'll be really fun. But yeah, I will miss the program, miss our listeners. And look forward to the show resuming in the middle part of January.
So we're out of kilter, you and I. So I'm going a week later so that my leave lines up with the kids' school holidays for the Penberthy family trip of a lifetime.
I can't wait to hear the stories, the pictures.
Oh,
I hope it goes off without a hitch, but I have images of sort of some Clark Griswold-style hijinks over the course of it.
Me, Kate, and 4 children, well, 2 of them are adults, effectively, but, you know, at the mercy of the Mexican public transport system, catching buses around from
what could possibly go wrong?
It's going to be a lot of fun. No
Absolutely.
Oaxacan furries, as they say.
Who wins the meat tray?
I said Oaxacan.
I know, I heard you. I heard you.
I almost did a Dave from Blakeview there. Ted from Osborne. That was a terrific call.
Great call.
We had so many great calls. Barry, Dean, Brad. But Ted's description of all of the ordnance he found.
They dug up, when rebuilding part of the house, they found an old artillery position.
And it was Military Road, wasn't it?
Military Road at Osborne. There was an artillery position without a 25-pounder, which is an artillery piece.
Yeah.
It's often seen around country towns and so forth, but it was dug in and all the artillery shells were there.
That was a fascinating
They were still underneath his house.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
His house was the first line of resistance for a while.
Exactly right. Thankfully not called into action.
Have a great weekend, everyone. Have a great holiday, Will. And I'll see you in the new year. And I'll see everybody else next Monday.
So, you want to do your bit for the planet? Drink Flurio Milk Company milk. Now available in a glass bottle, no plastic, no waste. FIVEAA Milk Company have partnered with the Udder Way to bring you milk in a glass bottle. Look for milk refill stations in your